right, everybody. Hello and welcome. This is Eric from Onboard Gaming. Welcome to the Warmaster Challenge. We have got our title match tonight between Daniel Reddehase and Stephen Corrales. You may recognize Stephen's name. He is one of the commentators here, often giving his excellent advice to our listeners. Just so real quick, I'm going to go through what the Warmaster Challenge is. That is a weekly thing that we do it every 2 weeks. It is a competition where we have two people fight. If you win 3 in a row, you become the Warmaster. Every week we do draw from a random selection of names, increasing in difficulty over time. And then, if you, like I said, if you get 3 in a row, you become Warmaster and get your name up on our board. So how do you do that? you sign up to fight. We choose the challengers. You do your fight, you get your win, and then the next session after 2 weeks we do another thing, and then 3 wins get you the Warmaster. So tonight we've got a lot of Stevens in the room here. We've got our very special guest commentator, Stephen Rainey. Hello, Stephen.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course. And then our challenger here now is going to see if he can knock Daniel out of the running is Stephen Corrales.
Yo.
Hey, Stephen. So normally we've got Stephen here commentating, and this is an interesting switch up because we've had both Stevens before on stream in swapped positions. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. So, all right, one of you Stevens.
Reverse role here.
Reverse role.
I think I'll start this off one. Like you said, Eric, my name's Stephen Rainey, or if you guys just want to call me Rainey, that works too. Yeah, great to be on here. Great to commentate. I was, like you said, last time I was on here, I was on the other side of the microphone. But this time I get to point out all of Stephen's mistakes in his play. And I'm sure there will be many.
Yep.
But no, it's all in good fun, and I'm glad to be here. And so why don't we go through your list, Stephen?
Yeah, so I'm bringing my Dark Angels. This is an army that I kind of liked and gravitated towards once the Codex dropped, and it was an army that I thought there was a lot of power in, and I thought it was cool. I had my first army I ever actually legitimately brought to any tournament ever was in 2nd edition was Dark Angels back then, so it was kind of cool. It was a cool little spin back there. It wasn't my favorite army ever, but it was an army that I did like once upon a time. So I was like, it was cool to revisit that and just have that army on my shelf. So I was happy with it, and I made a list, and this list I wanted to kind of do a little differently. I wanted to spend a lot of time constructing the list methodically, and once I had the list, purchase those models and run that list over and over again and not deviate and not change it, minus unit sizes, really, and just have a small selection of the list that I run. And that's what you're seeing today. Today is an evolution of the same list that I started with when I purchased the army. And the only change that's happened is just the unit sizes. I've been fluctuating with my Inceptors and my Blade Guard, kind of bouncing them back and forth, and then optimizing my final hero that's in there. And that's the only change. So today is a new look at the list that I normally run, and I'll walk you through it. It starts out with the normal Deathwing Vanguard. Obviously, everybody knows about that. It's got Inner Circle. It's got a lot of key components that make it extremely durable. The Deathwing Terminators actually allow you to bring a really versatile loadout over the top of, other than standard Terminators that either make you straight melee or straight shooting. The Deathwing can actually take a mix of both. They have the Inner Circle rule, and they have a couple other cool abilities. So the bread and butter of that is the mainstay of it is 2 10-man units of Deathwing Terminators. I bring them with 5 Storm Shields each for the durability, and then I bring the other half with Bolters and Power Fists, and then 2 of those guys have Cyclone Missile Launchers. That makes the unit completely versatile. They have Transhuman all the time for the Inner Circle rule. They have a 1-up armor save with the Storm Shield, and you have a better invulnerable. It alleviates the need for other stuff. You park it in cover, it's really durable. Then also, building on the Inner Circle component, Blade Guard are really good for their points. They're 35 points per model for a ton of power sword attacks, durability, and in Deathwing, they have Inner Circle, so they're 4-up in Vulns with Storm Shields. It's really good, and I mean the whole unit costs 105 points, and you get a lot out of it. So that's the 3 main units in the Vanguard. That Vanguard also has several characters in it. It has 5 to be exact. It's led by Lazarus. Now, Lazarus is kind of an outlier pick. You don't see that much, but he's proved to be pretty key in my finding into the current meta because his Spirit Shield, he's a captain. He gives the rights of battle, so he gives the +1 to reroll your hits. He's really killing in combat. He has some fringe rules against Psychers that are kind of cool that make him flat damage 4, but it almost never happens. And the main thing about him is the 6-inch aura from his helmet that gives him a feel no pain of a 5-up against mortals, which is really good because a lot of people, once all this durability stuff came out, started hitting you with mortal wounds. Well, this is a key way to mitigate that. In addition to that, I bring the Ravenwing Apothecary. He's a selfless healer. He brings the Ravenwing Relic that reduces invulns to a 5-up at best for anything within 3 inches. It's a very key thing, allowing you to really kill something that needs to be killed. And then I bring my Warlord is a Blade Guard Ancient because he has the Deathwing keyword. He's an Ancient. He has the Astartes banner. I upgrade it to the Chapter banner, which makes it pretty solid. It gives a unit +1 to hit in the command phase. And then with that, it enables you to take the banner that is Deathwing specific called the Pennant of Remembrance. And what the Pennant of Remembrance does is allow you to have a -1 damage selected in the command phase for a unit. And you put that on a 10-man unit of Terminators to make them -1 damage. Wow. It's gross. In addition to that, when you also upgrade him to the chapter banner, the other thing it unlocks is chapter banner warlord trait, which is called steadfast example. Now, when Drukhari popped out, it was if you were going to combat squad or try to take up a large portion of the board, when you dropped into 5-man units, you were really prone to like 8 witches charging you and sticking on the objective and then taking it from you with obsec. So it opens up a warlord trait that the banner is specific to. It's called steadfast example, and what it does is it's just like I'm drawing a blank on what it's called, but the one that has 6-inch aura of obsec, but it also has an additional ability that's the banner specific one that makes it to where anything that already has obsec counts as double the model count. So now your 10-man unit of Terminators is 20 dudes, and now you're never losing one objective of your choice, essentially, wherever that banner's at. He's the other key one, and then I add one of the new things I'm trying to this list. I've only had one game with it so far, is the Dark Angels Interrogator Chaplain. Now, there's a little bit of tech here because the Interrogator Chaplain is the only chaplain that can actually take a weapon from the melee weapons list. And the key thing about that is he can take a chainsword, which can be the Teeth of Terra. So now you combo that with the mantra Strength and then the one that gives +1 to wound. And then I also give him a Warlord trait that gives him +1 strength attack and damage to his weapon on the charge. The Teeth of Terra is +3 attacks, +1 strength, -2 AP, -2 damage flat. It ups it to 3 damage, -3 armor save in the assault doctrine. The other thing is it gets him all the way up to strength 8 with +1 to wound with 10 attacks on the charge that are flat 3 damage AP 3. He's crazy. He's got a jetpack. He's inner circle and he's got a 4-up invulnerable. So he is a monster, and his job is solely for 135 points to trade up with mobility. So he's going to jump in and smack a key portion of your army or a key thing that you have, and that's going to be the case. So I take that, and then I take the thing that I take that's unique to what I run, which you'd never really see, is a pure Greenwing detachment. And I take that. Greenwing is the generic Dark Angels terminology. Just a patrol, and it has 5 intercessors with auto bolt rifles, and it has a It has 5 intercessors, and it also has the main character in that is Ezekiel, who is ridiculous. I don't want to say he's broken, but he's pretty dang close. He's a named character librarian. He has a 2-up. He hits on a 2-up with anything. He's got a special sword, a special bolt pistol. He's got a 4-up invulnerable save. He's inner circle, and he's +1 to his casts, and he can deny 2, cast 2, and he can take from. He's +1 to cast Interomancy. So you give him the Fight Last spell, you give him the -1 to hit, -1 attack if you're within 6 spell, and you give him the most important one, Engulfing Fear, to take away obsec, and if you exceed their leadership, you take away their ability to do actions. So once again, you can really just dominate the mission, the objective play with that. And then I take 4 Inceptors, and the Inceptors are insane with Weapons of the Dark Age. It's a Dark Angel specific thing, and you can get those things to ridiculous volume with flat 3 damage. So those are just the little tricks and the things that I like. It's been a pretty successful list. It can take all comers so long as you know the mission. But yeah, that's my list in a nutshell.
Definitely. You were talking about that the chaplain, and I was the one on the receiving end of that guy.
I wasn't going to name any names.
But no, that chaplain can definitely clap some cheeks. So.
Yeah, you know, he's beast. I think that I'm testing him out. I think that if you use him correctly, he can provide a significant counterpunch to the things that you need to get out and stop from hitting you. It's important for stopping things like that. I also envision things like Knights or Mortarion or things you need to just get out there and hit hard. You know, he seems like something that could trade for 135 points. I mean, you don't care to lose him. You know, he's awesome. So I think that that's the key there. That's my list.
All right. So the real tech trick there by using that specific choice, it is, like you said, that they can choose the chainsword, which you can then upgrade to the relics, right?
Right, yeah. He's the only chaplain that can actually take a weapon that isn't a Crozius, so which makes him insane. I don't know if it's an oversight or it's supposed to be that way, but being able to take Mantra of Strength and the Teeth of Terra is gross.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Eric, do you have any other thoughts on the list before?
Oh, no, I'm just looking at this. I mean, this is a really spicy list. You've got a lot of things here that it's going to put you. You're going to get these 10 blocks of Terminators onto objectives. You can do the double obsec thing. I think that especially with the objectives or the secondaries you've chosen, that's going to really play well into that. So let's move over to that real quick here.
Yeah, so I'll walk you through what I took. Throughout my tournament play, I've kind of found which missions are just ridiculously straightforward for my army and really hard to stop. And this one is probably my favorite. I don't know if it's the best or worst, but I chose this because it has a center objective, it has the corner deployments, which allow me to get to that center objective really easily with my slow-moving guys. And additionally, it incentivizes that, which plays into several things. The first one, whenever you can take Oaths of Moment, that's a very good secondary for to have. Now, most Marine armies are a little more mobile, so you're able to really enforce it or hold the middle or zip something up to the middle or whatever. Dark Angels don't really have that when I'm in the way that I'm playing that. But when you have a center objective, it combos with what you're trying to do on the primary play. It really makes sense. Then the other thing about this mission that I love is it has direct assault, which is 3 points if I control the middle objective at the end of my turn. Straightforward, easy. I've got a double OBSEC banner. I can turn off your OBSEC. I'm just sitting there with 10 Deathwing Terminators. You're probably not going to take me off of it. So that's kind of the game plan on this one is I get to the middle with 10 Terminators and all my character support and say, you've got a couple turns to try to take me off this, and it's probably not going to happen. Right. That's the case there. And then, I'm taking Stubborn Defiance because, once again, I can also split and sit on my backfield objective, especially with armies that can't really get to me. And that's going to be a really easy thing to be because in the middle of the board, I'm already there, and you have to kind of come through that big blob to get to my back line, and it's really tough. Unless you're a really mobile army, which I don't think I'm facing today, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
All right.
No, I think it's a fair assessment.
Yeah, so you already kind of touched on a few things here, but let's go over the mission choice.
Yeah, so the big things about it is it's not a domination, it's a take and hold, which means it's a hold one, hold many, and hold more. I really don't like too many of the domination ones because you don't really want to spread so thin with Deathwing. This one allows me to really just castle between the distance between my rear backline objective and the middle. And if I just chill on there, I'm getting 40 on the primary, regardless of what happens. And then if I can, typically, if I can get over to the side, make a play on one of them on the sides just for one turn, then I'll max my primary easily.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting conflict. I know you've gotten a chance to look over your opponent's list a little bit and see that Black Legion, which I know as well as I am, have their stratagem to just go.
Yeah,
all the objectives are mine.
He's bringing some Nurgle characters and stuff that I'm not super familiar with Memon. I know he's got a plan. He's bringing Black Legion. I think the two things that I'm seeing from that is that he's going to want to really shove Abaddon down my throat and try to get as much efficiency out of him as he can. To be expected, Abaddon can hit me and throw a million attacks. They are flat 3 damage, but if I'm -1 damage with a 4-up invuln and he's only wounding half of them and I stop half of them, it'll hurt, but I don't think I need to be super worrisome about it because I think that I hit him back and kill him in one turn.
Okay.
But I also think he's going to be trying to play on. I think he's going to try to use those rhinos and the little Black Legion units to run around and try to world kill me here and there on key turns, to where as long as he's touching it with Black Legion, he's going to take it from me. So I need to be aware of that, and I think a big key here is going to be how I position myself on top of these objectives. I need to position myself a little bit more aggressively to where he actually cannot physically touch it at all with a Black Legion model.
All right.
Shield wall.
That's definitely one way to look at it.
All right. Well, man, it sounds like you got a pretty solid plan here. We got a solid list. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a brawl in the middle, so we're looking forward to it.
I love the brawl in the middle. Let's go. I think I'll be the last man standing. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to get Daniel in here in just a moment. Yeah, so, Steven, like I said, this is going to be a brawl in the middle. You've got both players taking secondaries that are not dependent, but they're going to be scoring a lot of points off of being in the center of the board, especially Steven's here, where he's got Oaths and everything else. So, he's going to run in there first turn. I don't know if he's going to deploy super aggressively and just try and say, okay, try and kill these 10 Terminators, whatever, waste your turn 1 shots and run in there, or how he's going to do that. But with this with the table quarters deployment, I think you should be able to start it off relatively close.
And I think you're right. I think that he actually probably will play a little bit more aggressively, especially because Daniel's list doesn't have a ton of firepower in it. The one thing that he's going to have to be aware of is going to be Bellicor. Mm-hmm. But I think we got our defending champ here, and we're going to ask him his opinion and see what his thoughts are.
Hey, Daniel, welcome back.
How's it going, guys?
Going well. So this is your title match here. You could be our second ever Warmaster if you can beat Steven. How are you feeling tonight about it?
I'm feeling... So, I was thinking a lot about my list, and it was really difficult to find something I really liked. I kind of just threw stuff that I knew very well together, and I think that in this mission, he picked a mission that's also good for me. We're going to really be fighting over the center.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. We had a little bit of conversation. I wanted to move a little bit of the terrain. I think it's a little off, but we can talk about that in a minute. Is just my personal opinions, but that's never. But I'm excited. This is gonna be a fun game. We're gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be an awkward car ride to Vegas if one of us loses pretty bad.
So just real quick on that, where are you guys going to Vegas?
So we're going to be going to the Power 9 GT over in Las Vegas. I'll be running Grey Knights for the first time at a GT.
Very nice.
And the Nurgle's going to sit aside, but Steven's going to be running the Freebooters, courtesy of Mr. Pickleman Logan. So that'll be fun, and we're leaving right after this, so it's going to be a long drive.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so let's go through your list here. This is significantly different than the list we've seen you run previously. So let's go through it here.
All right, so I'll just give you guys the lowdown. This obviously we know this is not the list that I ran the past 2 games. 2 things about this list. The first thing, this is the Warmaster challenge, so I did want to bring the Warmaster himself. I think that was
very appropriate.
A very tasteful choice. Yep. Also, he is really good into Deathwing. 3 damage attacks, and I got a little Exalted Champ, so he's rerolling his wounds. And a circle won't mean much if I'm rerolling. I'm also got 85 points to summon a Change Caster, because if he rolls a 1 on his Demon Sword, I'm going to be real sad panda. Because then he's just going to get clapped by Deathwing. We also have just a bunch of MSU stuff in that Black Legion patrol. We've got cultists, we've got bikers. I forgot them at home, but we're going to be using Joel's Deathwatch bikers today. I got rhinos because they also benefit from the World Killers strat. That's really what I'm going to be relying on for this detachment here. Really about just Abaddon's going to try and clap some models, and then we're going to try and take objectives away from Steven. I need to really beat him on primary.
Wait, so you're saying you can make your rhinos OBSEC?
So the World Killer stratagem says you use it at the top, beginning of the battle round, and if a Black Legion unit is within 3 inches of an objective, they control the objective regardless of how many models are on that objective. So it's like a super OBSEC. It's this weird wording that they have that they've never FAQ'd. WTC has ruled in the favor of the way that I'm interpreting it, so that's why I'm bringing it. There's none of this like weird jank I'm trying to run, but essentially, if a Rhino, a Cultist, Abaddon, anyone in that unit, in that detachment, touches an objective, it's mine. You have to kill that unit to take me off.
Very appropriate for Black Legion.
Yes, it is. Then we have a Death Guard detachment. We've got a Lord of Contagion. So this is where the sauce is, right here. I came up with this nice tech for against Steven. So he's got Lazarus. So he's got a 5-up against Mortal Wounds. He's got a 6-up Feel No Pain. What it is he has a 6-inch aura of no auras. So if you're within 6 inches of me, you do not get your Lazarus buffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he is Ferryman as well. So for 1 CP, that goes to 12 inches. So when it's time to strike, Abaddon's going to come in and say, okay, cool. You get a Feel No Pain? Not today. Oh, you're fighting Shrouds? No Feel No Pains. Oof. So we're going to see how that goes. And 5 Shrouds with the Biologist, so Mortal Wound Battery there. The Lord of Contagion does also give the reroll 1s to them, so they'll be hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. We have Poxwalkers just because we need to throw something out on the objective turn 1. We've got... I'm not super familiar with my list, which is really funny. We've got... And that's pretty much it. We got the 2 heavy Blight Launcher bloat drones. So these are just anti-marine fire. Mammon in the Demons attachment will be giving them +1 damage on 6s. Reroll 1s to hit. He's also a beefcake in combat. And then we've got some Nurglings, and we've got some Furies. And that's really going to round out the detachment there. A nice 7 CP for the Plague God. I also have a Tallyman, so I'm going to be generating 2 per turn. It's really just going to be me hanging out. I'm going to try and out-primary Steven, because he's probably going to get 45 on secondaries. I can't really stop him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, you both took the same secondary, so it's going in direct assault. And I think we're going to move over to your secondary choices here in a minute. So that will be an interesting kind of who can body off the center for that direct assault point.
Absolutely. I think I'm really going to have to make a play for his objective on the other side. I'm going to have to try and turbo boost some bikes over there or something to turn it off. But, we really have the same secondaries. He took Oaths, which is I anticipated that. I expected Oaths, I expected Stubborn Defiance, and I expected Direct Assault. So he actually did take those. Mm-hmm. So that's why this list is kind of built for that. I just hope that I can roll well and kill some Terminators, because I know he's got some psychic powers that are really going to mess with me. I really need to make sure that my characters don't commit until it's time. So we're going to see.
So knowing what you know now, and that a lot of his secondaries are going to be focused about holding that center objective, what's your sort of general plan for that? Are you going to try and get in there and dislodge 20 Terminators or 10 Terminators, whatever he puts in there, or are you just going to try and play around it?
You're going to love this. I am.
You are?
I'm going to try and kill some Terminators today.
All right.
Even at -1 damage, Abaddon will go in there and just start wrecking. Even at -1 damage, the Shrouds will go in there. And if he doesn't know, if he doesn't prepare for it, I can just have my Lord of Contagion run up and say, okay, you're within 12 of me. You're not getting a Fatal Pan against these mortal wounds. And those Shrouds, the Sergeant itself can do a maximum of 20 mortal wounds just by himself.
Wow.
I killed 20 Guardians with just him in a game.
Jeez.
And they were Ulthway too, so they had a Fatal Pan. And they all died. That unit is probably going to be my biggest hitter. I'm going to have to use it when the time is right and just walk up and be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Those Terminators are dead. There's nothing you can do about it. But we'll see. Steven's a great player. I've played 2 amazing players as well. Nick Kierman's amazing. Junior is one of the best in Southern California, arguably the country. I'm going to go out with my head held high, and if I don't win, I'll be back.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. You're going to have to beat the curse of Logan, because Logan, our one and only Warmaster at this point, ever since, no one's been able to get past 2 wins. It's been the curse.
Everyone gets to that two wins, and that third one, it's just,
It's always the hardest one. So good luck to you, man.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll be watching and point out everything you do wrong, as well as Steven.
I appreciate it.
And,
Team Toughness 8, we're going to be out here getting all of our rules right. Isn't that right,
No,
Chris?
All good fun, but good luck, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Thank
good
you,
luck.
guys.
Yeah, interesting matchup. We keep saying it, but it doesn't stop being true that we're just going to see who can go after the center more.
Yeah, I'm really going to be interested to see what they do on deployment here. I mean, I almost expect both sides to deploy very aggressively. Daniel maybe a little less so. I think he would potentially take a little more range damage turn 1 if he doesn't win the roll-off. I don't know if Steven's necessarily going to care.
Yeah, it's I don't know, because Steven, the thing is with his list, it's deceptively aggressive. I anticipate he's going to put one of his big blobs Terminators on his back objective, and anticipation of him trying to touch it or take him off, and then he's going to deploy the other unit Terminators in the center and just try and body that objective on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else he's going to do to get those side objectives to make sure he wins out on primary, because otherwise
he doesn't need to. He can, if he captures 2, he's going to get 40 points.
True.
Right? So, maybe some incidental shooting, depending on what gets put in the various places, he can knock stuff off. But I don't think he's going to really go out there to try and get that 45.
All right. Well,
But what's going to be interesting also to see what Steven does this year, he is aware of the strat that's going to break his OBSEC. So
yes.
I think we're going to see some very interesting positioning on those objectives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining right now just like a big circle. It's just going to totally body block any single thing from getting in there. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very movement heavy or movement particular, if you will, for this game, because like you said, anything just gets a toe on the objective, it's gone.
Right.
Now, that being said, Daniel only can really afford to do that for 2 turns at most.
Yeah, he's going to burn out of CP real fast.
That will just eat away his CP, because it's a 3 CP stratagem. So I'm really anticipating coming in turn 2 or turn 3. Those rhinos will just take their time getting, and then they'll probably move in when he's chunked away a few of the Terminators in the center.
And that strat lasts the entire turn, right?
It lasts the battle round.
Okay. So he could, with proper positioning, really reduce Steven to 0 on primaries.
He could, and that's why I think Steven's going to have to send at least a token unit, maybe that the 5-man Marine squad onto one of the objectives out on the sides.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, interesting matchup here. Dark Angels definitely are more of a dark horse for a lot of people, and Daniel's coming in with a very different list, and we've seen a different list not always work out for people. So.
Yeah, I really did enjoy, though, that he said he knows that Steven's going to post up Terminators in the center, and he doesn't care. He's going to run in there. He's got a plan. He's going to try and kill him.
Right.
So let's see if the dice agree with this plan.
We'll see. All right, I think we have our first units down on the field. Looks like we got one behind some of the ruins, and we got Daniel setting up some boys over there. Probably looks like cultists.
Yeah, and he did state his intent that they are beyond the ruins, so they can't be shot.
Sideways, we're going to assume that his tape measure is accurate, and we'll come out, and if anything comes down to a measurement, we'll double check for you. Yeah, so I think you mentioned before, but we got an upcoming league as these guys are getting set up, right?
We sure do. So here at OBG, we are now running our second league ever. Thanks again to Chris Powell for running the first one. We're going to be starting that up here next week. The last day to sign up is going to be Monday. Let me flip over to the league page here. So this is going to be exciting. We're doing a few improvements or just modifications from the last one. We are doing locked lists. We are setting up the pairings and letting people play anytime as the league is going. So it won't be one new pairing every 2 weeks, et cetera, et cetera. We're working on a new scoreboard system. There will be pods, so it's going to be real fun. If you're interested in signing up, please do so very soon. We've got the URL on the screen right there, tinyurl.com/OBG League. You can also find it on BCP, so you can sign up there, upload your list, et cetera, et cetera. If you got any questions, just contact me.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I've signed up for that league myself, getting ready to transition into this league, and really hopeful for what's going on. So we got a couple more drops going in. Looks like that 5-man Marine squad is on the edge, heading towards objective number 4 up there. And we got the Interrogator Chaplain sitting on objective 3 for Steven.
And just a real quick terrain call-outs. We do have these 2 new pieces of terrain here we're using as dents. So if they are touching those, they're getting the -1.
And the character bubble starts to develop for Steven.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess let's take some bets. Who do you think takes the victory on this one? Just early on predictions.
So me personally, I don't know. I mean, Dark Angels are just so tough to move. I've never personally had to fight a 10-man Terminator blob, but I've heard horror stories about trying to chew through that. But like I said, Daniel's got the tools available to dislodge them. I think that if he gets a good positioning, gets in there, gets the psychic powers off, is able to use strats, he's going to be able to do some major damage. I don't know if Steven's going to be able to recover after that, or he'll at least have to rethink his battle plan if a lot of it was revolving around staying on that center objective. But, I don't know. I'd call it 50-50 chances between the two right now. What about you?
Well, so we're just getting the first 10-man blob Terminators dropping. I'm thinking Steven pulls this one out, but not by much. I'm thinking at least probably a 5-point, 10-point margin at most.
So.
Just because those Terminators are just deceptively hard to move. You think you got the tools to bring in and get rid of them, and then all of a sudden something comes up, his rolls go hot, and then there's no shifting them.
And that was kind of part of this thing, is that there's a lot of moving parts involved with getting them off the center. You have to have the right characters in the right place, doing the right things at the right times to get it to go. And if Daniel finds himself in a bad position where he needs to spend CP to either maneuver or do something else, and he loses enough to really fuel that OBSEC strat, that's going to be trouble.
Yeah. So Daniel just threw down his Rhino on the edge there. Interesting deployment choice. I'm wondering if he's going after that objective 2 and just trying to make it spend a cheap unit to go after the side objectives so he can win out on primary. Otherwise, I'm not sure where or what other use that they would have. And we're seeing the second one, I think, do the exact same on the other side.
It makes sense to run over there, and like he was saying, use the strat, get the OBSEC, or if Steven doesn't have anything in range, then he'll just sit there, right?
Yeah.
If he comes up the sides, he can use them to body block the Terminators.
Right.
There's a bunch of uses. Although there's a lot of ruins on here the Terminators can walk through, so.
Yep. And that's the other thing is those plasma scepters that we're going to see Steven bring. I think if I were him at least, I would be getting ready to use those as soon as I see the Death Guard Terminators just walk out or out of the terrain so that they're not getting that bonus to their saves. I'm Weapons of the Dark Ages, and I am overcharging and dumping everything to get rid of those guys if they were my biggest threat to my Terminators.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a risk because the Terminators have the -1 to damage. So even with Weapons Dark Age, you need 2 shots to actually kill each one, right?
Right.
And then if you're overcharging, you need to be in a reroll aura, or you're gonna lose those.
I realize that
The thing is, though, with this close, because there's only a 9-inch bubble surrounding that center point, you've got 18 inches between the opponents. You really can get the Plasma Scepters in there and in the reroll bubbles for reroll 1, so I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Plus, with just the amount of firepower that those suckers can put out, I think that's going to be kind of his, I don't know, probably kind of the last resort or the secret attack that he's got kind of hanging in his back pocket. Ace in the hole. There we go. I found the term. But then again, Daniel could make all his invulns, and then Plasma Scepters do very little. So
I have to advance, and these are assault weapons.
there's going to be a few key moments in this battle that are going to turn the tide, I think.
Yeah.
So I would need to.
I'm a little terrified of that Slam Chaplain just jetpacking around and destroying everything it touches.
Yeah, he clapped Armin in one turn. In just one round of combat, and he didn't even get both of his buffs off. He only got one of them, I think.
Yeah, but is Armin that hard to kill in close combat?
He had a 4-pinball. Yeah,
Everyone gets a 4-pinball. Well,
Sure.
Characters do.
and Armin's only T4, of course. But that was his points trade up, and there was 160 or 180 points versus the whatever it was, 130, I think it was, for the Interrogated Chaplain.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a trade up, and that was a key piece for me. So, we'll see what he does. Maybe he sends him into Mammon, and or maybe he sends him into the Terminators. We'll see what happens with that.
I've never actually seen Mammon played before. Is that? I mean, you're more of a Chaos player than I am.
Yeah.
Is that a tool that people typically use, or is this kind of purposefully on the list for this matchup?
I'm not as familiar with Death Guard. I can say that they were my first Chaos army I picked up. Mammon, the name rings a bell. I need to look at his stats here, just to pull it up, so I'm more familiar with him.
18.
All right, people in chat, who do you think's gonna win this one? Who are you rooting for?
Duder.
Steven and the Dark Angels, or Daniel and the Forces of Nurgle?
Just sit here. Alright, and that's me. I think first turn is going to be kind of critical. So
I think I don't really care that much.
I don't think you do. I think going second is probably going to be better for you because of turn 5.
Okay, yeah, this makes much more sense now. So looking at Mammon, he's strength toughness 7 with 9 wounds. He's essentially named Demon Prince for Death Guard. Or, sorry, not for Death Guard, for Chaos Demons and Nurgle.
Got the 6.
But that Contagion spray, man, just 12-inch Flamer,
Let's tell him inside.
3d3, strength 5 minus 2, flat 2 damage. That can be
Alright,
just
so command
real
phase stuff.
nasty
We're
real
going to go up
fast.
to
Melee
8
is
command
flat
points.
3.
Do I go up to 9?
That's real good.
But I think we're getting started here in just a minute.
9.
Yeah, we're off to the
That's all
races.
done.
Here we go.
Okay, so I don't have any command phase stuff other than that. I don't need to do anything this turn.
So Daniel has one to roll off.
So I think what we're
Let's
going to
see
do
how-
is we'll start with
see
the
how we
Poxwalkers
handle
here. We will try our best to get them on the objective. That's going to be a no.
Poxwalker is trying to advance.
Just try and get a nice fat. Problem is that's going to...
A bongus.
Yeah, so that's going to go.
Looks like he is getting on that objective to get the direct assault turn 1.
Makes sense.
They're all on the bottom floor.
They're doing great.
Yeah, they're doing their best, you know? Just like that. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Okay, so that's all that there. So at the end of the movement phase, we'll have the tally man do the banner there.
Okay.
All right.
Furies, we'll do the Nurgling, so we'll advance these need anything.
So yeah, Daniel going first benefits Steven Froze. Definitely O's having the challenge of ending at the battle round. In this case,
Furies
that
will
is going to
advance.
make him score O's a little bit easier. Not impossible for Daniel to kind of mess with a little bit here and there, but definitely more of a challenge for him to deny any of that.
Yeah.
Intention is they're not touching.
Yeah, I definitely think going second is benefiting Steven at this point.
So that'll be that. That'll be that.
Daniel did move the Poxwalkers up a little bit, is touching the objective, which is good. He's trying to put some distance between him and that mob of Terminators.
Yeah, I got Nurgles over there. Okay, Mr. Rhino will advance, so he's going to move 10 plus 6, because he's moving through the dents. 16,
Rhinos move
12 base, so minus 2, and then plus 6.
Yeah, advancing that Rhino over
I'm gonna be able to
4,
just get on
trying
this
to cap the objectives, kind of like you were talking about, Steven.
Yeah, get some early board control for sure. And then he's also got those Nurglings up in the top left corner as well.
Stay here and rev their engines very loudly and annoying. Lord of Contagion will just march. It's going to go pop, pop, pop. Shrouds are going to go pop, pop, pop. I guess they'll advance just to get everyone as close as possible.
Yeah, it looks like he's staging everything, expecting Steven to move the Terminators up into the center, probably shoot at and then potentially charge through the ruins, and then Daniel will have a strong counterattack ready to go.
Yeah, because the issue is if Steven just tries to shoot those Poxwalkers off, they don't have a great save, but
Really
he's
is the
got
one that
so
I'm
many
most concerned
bodies that
Biologist.
pull off everything before he pulls off whatever's on the objective.
Right.
What I really
And
like about the Dark Angel
at this
powers
point,
is
he'll
you
have to
don't
kill
need to
the
see
entire
battle
block to
action
get
because
these
none
guys
of them
off.
are,
Which is not out of the realm of possibility, but definitely a challenge.
I think that's really strong. So we're going to go ahead and this Rhino's just going to sit here. Oh, goodness. Okay. You have nothing in reserve, so don't have to worry about that. So we're going to get
Although,
George
yeah,
Solo ready.
Steven's Inceptors actually would be exceptionally good at killing Poxwalkers en masse.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. That might be his hide behind the ruins and shoot those Poxwalkers over there off of that objective. Even though that is the larger block of the two.
Guys obscuring?
What do you mean?
This little piece right here as well?
Yeah,
Let's get this
just
ready.
count the whole, every piece is just, because they don't have bases. So just count every part of it.
Got it. So I think what we're going to try and do is we're going to move and see. Maybe we can just be annoying. Okay.
Yeah,
So
positioning
around the
those
terrain,
bullet
I
drones
can
to try and
see
use the
these two.
flight launchers on
So
those
probably I would
assault
at least be able to
intercessors.
get one. And I think what we'll do is we'll move up
Yeah,
here.
because
with
if those
them.
intercessors go away, then there's no real answer for Steven to quickly go on to objective 4.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Mammon, Mr.
And
Mammy
you're
Man.
fighting for control of the center objective.
go
So he's
there.
getting 5 every turn. Steven's,
Abaddon's
or
just
sorry,
gonna walk up here.
yeah, Steven's getting 5 every turn from his objective,
Exalted
but
Champ
can
with
he
his
hold the
power
center?
sword is going to chill. Dude there is going to hang out.
Question that we're going to have to find out.
So I wonder when Stevens turns up, I wonder if he'll try to do a similar kind of KD play. Tow in one Terminator on
So I
the
think all of
objective,
that's pretty
try and blast off the
satisfactory.
Poxwalkers with all
We're
his
gonna
combined
go ahead. So
firepower,
there's a banner
and
here,
not
and
kind
I
of fall for
control this,
that.
so we're gonna use the black
My
dice as well
counterattack's
to
going to
make
murder
control
you
of
setups.
So I can technically
Yeah,
move off
it's
of it.
difficult to say
We're gonna go ahead
because
and
he's going to
start.
be
We're gonna go with
pressed
this
in
guy
on
here,
3
who's just
fronts
gonna
at
shoot
this
the
point.
intercessors. Did you want to transhuman?
Daniel definitely has a strong
Volume,
opening here.
D6
6
And,
shots. Strength 6, AP 3, 2 damage.
Yes, we do transfer.
and we got the bloat drones taking the
Down
first
5 CP.
shots.
So 3s, rerolling 1s. Oop, goodness. So they all hit. 4s, rerolling 1s because of TJ Lanigan. No.
Pretty good.
I will spend. No, I'm not going to do it. I need a world killer at the end of the game. So AP 3. Ooh, so 2 die.
Okay.
All right, drops 2 intercessors out of that. Pretty good.
Alrighty. So I can still see one more. So we'll do the other one. We'll shoot. 6. This one back here. So he'll do it as well.
Range 4.
We're using the
36.
exact same thing.
You're there. Okay.
Yeah, 36. Rerolling ones to hit.
Yeah,
Those
there's
will
a
miss.
non-zero chance it's gonna be able to kill all
Nope.
three of these guys.
That doesn't actually.
Oh, he's only got,
Translate.
he's only got
So
3
you're gonna have 2
wounds.
wins?
2.
No, two. Okay.
So 1's living.
Wow. 3 out of 6. 3 out of 6, yeah. It's good rolling. Alrighty. So, and the sergeant's still alive. He's the one with the dagger, right? Or he's the one pointing?
We'll say the one with the knife.
Okay. So I think that's going to be my turn. I'm going to get direct ass. I'm going to get strangle.
And a quick turn from Daniel to start out, but I don't think he really needs to do anymore. He shot what he needed to shoot, and everything else just got in position for the turn 2 counter punch.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely setting the stage
I owe
here.
you a morale check on those guys that can fail on a 6. I lost 3 on their 8. I can fail on a 6. Oh, good.
Yep, that
Okay.
would suck. We're going to go up to 6 CP.
We'll go back up to 6 CP. And we'll do some command phase stuff. So,
Alright.
first things first, +1 to hit is going to go on the blade guard. -1 damage will go on this unit.
Okay.
Other things to do, I don't believe my litanies are in my command. They are in my command phase.
Yes, they
So
are.
we didn't do some litanies
So
here.
he's
We are
bolstering the
going
blade
to
guard
do,
with +1 hit.
I don't
That
think
might
I
be
do
his
litany
bait
of
and
things 'cause
switch.
I have
Yeah.
He'll throw the blade guard into whatever doesn't die from shooting from Poxwalkers.
Right.
If he loses that to the Terminators,
It goes off, and Mantra
or
strength
if he, and then
Right.
he kills the
They're both there,
Poxwalkers,
they are
Terminators
both
come in and kill
firing.
that. His Terminators come
Right.
in and kill the Terminators.
The counter.
Other command phase
Yeah, we're
stuff,
thinking
I
5
don't
steps
have-
ahead over here.
Obviously, the blue squad is my stubborn defiance unit.
Only big
I'm
brains
always
around
gonna
here.
get 15 for that. I'm not going to be able to stop you.
Bigger than mine.
Okay, now. Okay, so we need to odes. We need to odes a moment. We need to direct step. Okay.
So one thing I did notice out of both these builds is
First
both
things
of them
first, we're
are
gonna move
missing
the blade
a
guard, they're
critical
6
unit
inches.
that I've seen in every single game played in Warmaster. There is not one Contemptor Dreadnought on the board this evening.
Oh man.
There, my boy's gonna
I,
be
I
here.
think so. Steven's been talking a little bit about it, and I think he's right. And that the age of the Contemptor is finally coming to a
Next
close.
thing I believe
We
that
see
we
with
want
Grey
to
Knights
do
having a
is
full
finish
5-up
this
feel no
way.
pain against mortal
Probably
wounds,
give him up
and,
yet.
and
It
the
doesn't matter.
Strength 6 just not going nearly as far as it used to. Free orcs with their ramshackle is reducing that strength or the damage 2 down to
Let's
1.
advance the unit
It's
of
just the
Terminators.
mileage is not nearly as good anymore. So I think we're going to see, if we do see Contemptors, they're going to be last games. And
You think so?
Yeah, and I don't think there's going to be very many, if any.
We're just going to cruise up to here. I'll move my command point marker to over there.
I mean, Thousand Suns have some play with Contemptors in that they can just give them a permanent, for 1 CP every turn, you give them a permanent AP1 Devastator Doctrine, but other than that,
Death Guard have pretty good Contemptors, right? Can bonus them up for exploding 6s and things like that.
yeah, and the Tallyman can give them +1 to hit, but like I said, the Ramshackle and the lack of AP is really what hurts the Chaos versions of the Contemptors.
Back here.
Even a single turn of Devastator Doctrine or Tactical Doctrine, whatever it is,
And Devastator for them.
Devastator for them. Getting that single turn of AP is just so
Things that
killer.
need to go down here. Okay, so I
And,
give
and
you
without
mindful
that,
attack.
you're just
He's gonna
Marines
run
are
up
taking
here,
3-up
he's gonna
saves.
pull
And when
Right.
Marines take 3-up saves, not much dies.
His aura of influence. It's pretty cool. Okay.
So it looks like Steven's towing on that objective.
He's actually
So-
moved in there a little bit farther than I was expecting.
You're going to want to get the cultist out. Run over here, potentially
Yeah, I
try
think
to
you're
one
right.
kill.
But I also think those Blade Guard are going to be in a good position to make a fairly short charge.
Yeah. And Daniel's definitely not going to pull the guys off the front here. I mean, that's the entire
no.
purpose of having Poxwalkers. So
Exactly.
Steven can safely fire everything into that and know that there's going to be targets available.
Right, but I think he only actually has 1 Poxwalker on that objective.
I think you're right, yeah.
So he'll probably start pulling away from that side. So it'll have to be into that, whatever charge he makes will have to be into that 1
Lazarus is gonna
Poxwalker.
move 6. Up over to here, tuck in. Cool. Ezekiel.
Should be pretty easy to go straight through here.
I'm gonna move his 6 and assess
Gonna
if
guess
I
that's
want to
roughly a
advance.
6-inch charge.
So 18 inches is to there. Who is under? Are the Death Shroud underneath it? No, they're not.
See, we'll have 2 events.
Hang on. So. Okay. So if I need to
Yeah,
get a
those
little
plasma
closer,
scepters, he's looking to see if he can get
let's
those.
advance him. Try to get an inch or 2. Sweet. We're gonna go 4, so we'll put him straight ahead. actually
I think he was looking to see if he could get a cheap shot on those Terminators early on with the plasma scepters.
force that to happen with that extra 4 inches. 18 inches is right there. Am I underneath it now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Death Shrouds, we do want them to
You can
fight
range
last.
them out,
We
do
want
it.
them over there.
Those shrouds are not something you want to have sticking around late game.
The only thing is they're behind that obscuring ruin, so I'm not sure how he's going to get them in range, or rather in line of sight.
Use it this way and tuck in. Think 3 for selfless. Do it like that. You can bring back an Scepter, still be there.
And Scepter's coming back.
Intercessors, all right? Aren't those the assault intercessors?
Closest, probably not.
I don't think they're assault intercessors. I just think they are inceptors. Or sorry, not inceptors. The
Just regular intercessors?
either regular intercessors with
These guys.
assault bolters or something like that.
Oh, right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Saw the assault bolters and for some reason was thinking assault intercessors.
sure.
I'm gonna put Ezekiel up top just to make it easier to see him. Coming around that way. No crazy movement shenanigans, right?
Nope, I can't double move or anything like that. Just normal moves.
These guys are staying still. Back here. This movement. I think we just bring my boy up to right here to also be able to influence.
And he's got a jump pack with big air quotes.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the chaplain making his move up to the center,
I don't think there's anything else I really got to do.
getting in range of a counter punch next turn.
It's kind of funny. Both players are lining up to countercharge.
Okay.
Nobody wants to really make the first move there.
Someone's got to pull the trigger though,
Yeah.
because if you don't,
It has to be Steven. It can't not be.
You have no denies?
Correct.
Okay. So I can cast 2 of them. I think aversion will not matter that much. I think what I need to do is take Obsec from your Poxwalkers. That way I will be doing Stubborn Defiance.
Oh, clever.
Assault.
Do they have offset?
They do right now.
You already control this. You have more bodies. I only have one Foxwalker at the point.
Right, but that's going to change. So
So he's
Steven?
gonna,
we're going to cast
yeah,
a
so
Fair
he's
Start.
trying to remove Obsec from the Foxwalkers, which means he doesn't need to charge out of that blob.
I don't have to
Doesn't
do
want
it.
to.
Got it. I need to.
because if he doesn't kill all the
really important,
Poxwalkers
so I
and the
will spend 1
Poxwalkers
CP to
start
reroll
coming
this.
back, then he's going to put more bodies on top of that objective
Right.
to steal it away from Steven.
Which also means that if Daniel wants to actually control that and deny points, he's going
Now
to
you
need
can't do
to
Poxwalker
spend 3
shenanigans,
CP
do Obsec and bring
right
it
away.
back.
Oh no, he can't because he
next
has to
thing
do
we're
it.
gonna
He has to do it during his turn, right?
Is fight last.
He has to do it at the beginning of the battle round,
Okay.
which would be on his turn too, but he only has Poxwalkers on there, which are Death Guard, not the
Oh,
Black
that's right.
Legion.
They can't take advantage of that.
Cool.
Okay, I'm done casting. That's all my spells.
All right.
Shooting. Shoot. Starting from the back forward, we're going to put 2 crack missiles into your boy there.
And you
Did not move.
did not move, so you're hitting on 2s. That's 4 shots, right?
What are you thinking about it?
I'm wondering if I want to pop smoke here. I have 8 CP.
Is smoke a reactive stratagem? Or
Yes, so
is
when you declare me as a target, I can declare to pop smoke. The smoke's green.
Sweet.
That's not with the new.
in
That's
this
not with
case,
the old
yeah, I'm gonna
CSM
have
though.
7.
Hop
Now you're
Smoke
aware
should
that I
have
can
been.
spend 1 CP to Fury the First.
You have to declare that when you activate.
get
so
updated?
it would be
Okay.
a more reactionary thing.
I don't mind.
I
I'll hit
don't
on 3s.
think that got updated.
And let's see if I'm within 6. I don't think I am. I'm not. It's fine. We're hitting on 3s.
If those were
with
Death
missiles.
Guard Rhinos, that's how it would work.
It's pretty good.
I don't think you burned the
Roll
CP though, so I
Yeah,
don't think it
so
matters.
AP minus 3.
6s.
Yeah, I believe the old CSM rules still apply, where you have 1 turn of popping smoke with Rhinos and Vindicators
I
and
do
whatnot.
lose. Doesn't matter. Does the dude die? No.
So that Rhino eats it to crack missiles, explodes.
So I guess any more shooting is really just this guy, right? And the Inceptors.
Scepters have 18. I don't think I have range. Okay.
That's the right call. Because the Inceptors can't shoot me. And we need a 10. Okay.
I do still have this unit as well.
Looks like the Greater Possessed is popping out and still holding that objective, making a difficult charge for the Marines to get there.
Yeah, that's a huge charge. I don't think it's going to be able to make that one reasonably.
But very good insurance at the same time
Yeah.
on Daniel's part, making sure that he's got someone on there.
Shoot 4 Blade Guard pistols straight ahead. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
Hit on 2s, right?
No.
Last one to hit.
Melee only.
Got it.
Alrighty.
T4.
2, and these are AP 1s.
2 damage.
1 damage.
Fill the hands. 1 dice.
Nice, we're loving the 6s.
Yeah. XPZ, baby.
Okay. I need to really be considerate of my other shooting here.
So he pulls that one
I don't like how much
Poxwalker and
more.
it looks like he's sitting on the objectives. I'm not sure if he has anything else there. I guess at this point it doesn't necessarily matter since he didn't have control of it.
Yeah, if he doesn't have control of it, then it doesn't matter if he's got the one guy on there. And actually, in doing that, he extends the charge range
Right.
that Steven's going to have to make if he wants to make it.
4. Plus 1. I
5,
need...
right?
So if I'm right here, let's do the measurement. If I need a 5 to get me within 4, will no, yeah, I failed twice. Okay. Cool. So then that's that. That's a wrap for me. Do I have any other charges that I can declare? And I want to declare I don't. So I'm going to score for oaths.
Yeah, looks
4.
like Steven's closing off turn 1.
I should max
do
it.
end of
Yeah,
round
fully
scoring
within the
here?
center on my blade guard. I've got kill the vehicle. Yeah, I'm gonna get the full 4 at the end of the battle round there
And you'll get direct assault as
for
well.
3. Yep.
Okay.
And I'll push to you for a 15.
Alrighty, so we will go into turn 2.
You get a 15 and you'll gain 1 banner.
Yeah. 2. So we'll change the turn. I will get a 15er. So this is probably the moment where I need to decide if I want to kill some worlds. Because you took my obstacle away, you're going to make me fight last. So these 3 dudes have obstacle, and so does this, right?
Everything within 6 inches of this banner has upside.
Cool. I think we're going to have to do it here. I think we're going to
World
have to
killing.
go. So we're going to go down to 4, which means then we'll go up to 5. Do I go up to 6? No, so I'll just do that 5.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So 1 banner point.
All right.
Command phase
World
stuff,
Killers
that's
has
pretty
been
much it.
activated.
So we're going to go ahead.
Meaning, for those of you who are just joining us or haven't heard, World Killers basically means that anything that is Black Legion that Daniel has,
Bring them back. This doesn't really
if it touches an objective, it belongs to him.
So yeah, really
Doesn't matter
nice.
if you
That's
have
really nice.
20 OBSEC bodies
And
on
so,
it or not.
So Ezekiel
That
gets
objective is
+1
his.
after he
So
casts
it's an
the
expensive
power successfully? Is that how
stratagem,
that works?
but very, very useful when played right.
Okay.
For Interomancy only.
So
Like, I can't
what Black
snipe.
Legion does he have? That guy, right?
Got it.
So we got
okay.
that guy. We've
Got some bikes back here.
some bikes. We have the Rhino
Rhinos.
right there.
Is they will do the thing.
And Abaddon is also somewhere in that mix
I
of
think
Terminators.
You cannot heroically
Right
intervene
there,
with
I
the Blade
believe.
Guard, correct?
Yes.
I don't think so. If there is a way to do it, I'm not aware of it. I'm not a blood angel.
Right. All right. So that's
run
going to
up,
be there.
touch it, and be annoying.
Yeah, we're going to raise a banner and also put a black dice. Did you want to put it? No, you know, I'm not going to be over there, so you'll control that even if you move off of it. I will also control this. If I move off of it. I think what this guy will do is, so these Nurglings,
Into advance, yeah.
yeah, they can advance.
Yeah, I think these banners are going to be a little bit rough for Steven as well. They require him to get over there and actually take it down, which he, I don't know, he doesn't have a lot of stuff he wants to break out of that castle to go do that.
Form a little pocket for him. And he'll raise a banner as well. Little hot pocket over here, baby.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We did world kill this turn.
Yeah, like we said earlier, Steven does not have a lot to expand outside
I guess
of
these
that.
Vikers will advance.
just
These
kinda
auto
castle in the
advance,
center,
they'll
so-
go 18.
Those 3 intercessors are going to have to do their darndest to try and make their way over to Objective 4. Somehow kill everything on it.
So
And,
I mean, they've got a reasonable chance of cutting through those Nurglings. Maybe not in one turn, but they can do some damage. What can they do against Greater Possessed? I'm not particularly familiar with that model, so
So Greater Possessed is actually pretty good in close combat. Strength 5, but gives everyone around it +1. All Legion demons within 6 +1 strength. So he's effectively strength 6. Has 4 or 5 attacks on the charge.
so he's going to mulch those intercessors.
AP like AP 2 or 3 D3 damage.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. So if that possessed charges, those intercessors are dead.
yeah, they're gone.
And I think he's positioned them. Yep, he positioned it right behind those Nurglings. So there's pretty much no way of him getting into that guy without the Nurglings. So and even if he does, he's probably only going to get 4 or 5 attacks into him. Which with 5 wounds and a 3-up save, 5-up invuln, that's not going to be anywhere nearly enough.
So it'll be interesting to see if Steven decides that he wants to launch that slam chaplain that direction, or keep him to see what happens in the middle there.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I'm not sure what the play is there.
I saw Black Legion.
Really, I think that he could throw that slam chap onto objective 4 or 2
if I could kill them all.
pretty much clear
Well, I
it.
realized
So you were unhappy that
Oh, for
we
sure,
lost
for
that
sure.
night.
I was not happy about that. I forgot you were in
The
the
Slam
Death
Chapter
Doctrine, I probably
is
wouldn't have
pretty
said that.
centralized at this point, and with only a 12-inch movement, it'll take him a turn or two to get wherever he needs to go if he's not going in the center. And that gives Daniel an opportunity to shoot him down before he can get there.
Potentially. We do have those crates and some dense terrain, and there's a few things they can hide behind. Also,
is
just
true.
target priority.
This is true.
Mine.
Oh, body blocking with that rhino.
Well, that Rhino touching the objective means it's his.
Oh, that's right.
Problem is these Death Shrouds are just going to basically sit here.
So now Steven's going to have to clear off the Rhino and not deal with the Poxwalkers,
Do you affect my movement at all?
or try and deal with both at the same time in his next turn if he wants that objective. But as of right now, Steven's only going to be scoring 5 on primary next turn.
Yeah, that's going to ram right there.
You can't make me think
So I was saying before, he could just sit on 2 points and get 40 points, but now he's got
These
to
are
make a move.
the Tin
Yep.
Man. No, it's the Straw Man from.
If I only had a brain.
There you go. Yeah, this guy gets it.
Okay.
Steven, of course, singing to himself if he only had a brain. One of the most enjoyable things I've heard in a while.
I want to try and keep you just.
I've been doing.
All right.
It's
What do you
depends
think
on
about
who
these
wants them, like how
Poxwalkers?
many
Think he's
games
going
you
to
have
throw
to
them
run.
in
I
there,
just figure
do the
in
mortal
3
wound
or 4
strat,
slices
or is he
per
just
person,
going to
which is like a half pieces. So every
just
game,
going to have
I
him
do
sit
one.
there and
So
body block?
So there's 6 games total?
Well, the thing is, he already owns the objective with the Rhino. I think the Poxwalkers go in there, use the Mortal Wound strat to try and clear off as many Terminators as possible. And if he can, just swamp him from ever, or at the very least stop him from charging the Rhino. Because if he can stop him from charging the Rhino, then he eliminates his ability to deny another turn, or he gets to hold the objective for a whole another turn. Because as long as the Rhino's on there and he keeps spending 3 CP for World Killers, he's going to hold that center objective. So
Yeah.
Poxwalkers sit on there and just
that'll be all of that.
bog down the
Abaddon's
Terminators
gonna
for a
try
turn or
some
two.
Cage
That's
Caster.
5-10 points that Steven's not getting for holding the center. Actually, 8 or 13, 8 or 16 because he's also got direct assault tied up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have one? Thank you, sir.
So Daniel's definitely in a strong position right now.
This thing's considerably more
See
annoying.
what he does with it.
So we'll just get some change back here. We'll change some casts. Consult the gaze. I love that so much. It makes me laugh every time I can. Oh yeah. But have you consulted the gaze? Let's see if we can do it like that. Maybe try it. I guess we'll just gaze of fate. So we'll do that. We'll consult the gaze.
It goes off on a 5.
Okay.
I
Would you like to watch?
I would like to just deny it straight up within 24 inches.
That's rude.
I was going to do 7 to move forward. I need a 6. Denied. You get no gaze.
No, sir.
No gaze of fate.
Very nice. Lots of gaze.
Very, very useful psychic power. No longer in Daniel's toolbox.
There's quite a few good psychic powers, especially I think with the Grey Knights and the Thousand Suns
Trees. Did you want to transfer?
But man, having that tied to just a dice roll like that, to succeed or fail, it's hard, especially when your opponent can,
Three ones.
like we saw here, just deny it
Oh, the
sometimes.
demons lets you reroll them anyways.
And Steven still does have his once per game auto deny still
Demons on 3s
available.
or 4s.
The Watcher.
He hits
Yep.
on 3s because he's in the terrain, so he will not suffer a -1. So 6s. 3
Is
6-ups.
anybody touching that cover? I didn't touch anybody. Yeah, 3 6-ups.
Yeah, with the 6s. 2 die.
You need the Sarge.
Guess guess for what it's worth, the last one will just shoot the Terminators.
Terminator's
Big
taking
Deathwing
fire.
block. Threes, because he's in cover. Fours. Do they have a -1 damage?
Yes, they do.
So you got 3 singles.
Okay, we'll start on this. It's just AP2,
Maybe 3. So it'll put you to your invuln anyway.
even at 0 up, it won't. It'll put me to a 3 up.
Oh, you're right.
I'll go on whichever Storm Shield is not the least consequential. That's the Sergeant, so let's put it on this guy.
Okay.
Just 3 of them, so I need 3 ups.
3s.
I take 1 damage, feel no pain. Alright,
Wound.
you take a damage.
You don't need to put it. You're probably going to heal them next turn
I'm
anyway.
going to put it anyways because we're playing against Warhammer and it's courteous.
Alright.
That's funny. Daniel made a comment earlier about bringing the Warmaster to the Warmaster Challenge.
So you will get
I
direct.
did a similar thing, except I brought a converted Warmaster. I took the old metal Batten model, mixed it up with some CSM bits to make my Warlord. But
Nice.
maybe the reason why he could take this is by bringing the actual Warmaster instead of just a conversion from the old model.
We will see. I'm actually excited to see everyone get
Also,
in
in my
there.
command phase, these 2
Yeah,
buffs are
he's
gonna
not a
stay the
model
same.
you see very often on the competitive table.
Yeah, +1 to hit there. Boom, boom. I'll go up to 5.
Yeah, we might actually talk to the
Okay,
chat right now.
I'm going
If you
to
guys
get,
on chat,
attempt to
if you can
cast
think of a
my
model
spells,
that
or my
you
2 dice,
haven't
right?
seen on the
I don't
competitive
have
side in a while that you would love to
-2
see,
is
would love to
6, I
hear
can't
it.
fail
Oh, you're right, yes.
Maybe some Storm Ravens back on the battlefield again,
Alright,
dropping
let's go
dreadnoughts
mantra strength
everywhere.
here.
I know my answer to that question.
You get it?
And what would that be?
Mantra is going off. And then
I
we'll
like
do Litany
Marnie's
of
Calgar,
Haste.
and I've liked seeing one on the tabletop.
Calgar.
Goes off.
Okay.
That goes off.
You know, I would
Boom, boom,
actually,
good to
I don't
go,
even
good to
play
go.
Tyranids,
Okay.
but I would love to
Other
see.
things to consider.
Someone
Okay,
said
let's-
Carnifex.
Yeah, Cybers is
Oh,
Carnifex on there. I 100% agree on that. I still run Carnifexes just because I like
Yeah.
it so much.
You don't like
Actually, I magnetized all their arms.
Okay.
and
right.
stuff.
I was actually going to say Old One Eye. He's someone I haven't played against in years. I haven't seen him on
Scepters
tabletop in
just peek to the
forever.
right here,
Definitely not a
and murder the
competitive
right
scene,
eye.
so
All the black
I
pieces
have
goes
a
off.
list with
I engulf
3
in fear of the
Carnifexes and Old One Eye
I do the
because
same
they
spell
can
priority. We get in the battle
lookout
there.
sir him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I never win games with it, but I have it.
I mean, those are some
Move 2
beefy
more
lookout
black legion
sirs.
units
Yeah,
there.
right.
These shoot frag missiles. We clear some Nurglings. Do I care that much? I mean, I think we just shoot this unit there anyways, because why not? They won't move. I also think my Terminators don't need to move, because we're just going to launch some missiles and do some damage here.
Yeah, Steven taking advantage of that stay and put and +1 to hit ability that the Dark Angels have.
Okay, cool. Done with the command phase, let's do some movement. Alright, the Blade Guard are going to move up here with their +1 to hit outside of engagement range.
Yeah, so you had brought up an interesting thing before about spreading those Poxwalkers out to prevent charges against that Rhino, and I think that might have been something that
Boom. Okay.
wasn't looked at the time, and
I
yeah,
think we can afford to get Ezekiel.
Blade
Jump down and
Guard,
be a little closer.
Mastercraft and Power Swords, they could
Okay,
still
the other
100%
thing
destroy
that I
that
think I
Rhino.
wanna
Oh,
do
they
here-
will 100% destroy that Rhino. 4 of them, each of them get 4 attacks, I believe, on the charge, so I think he gets 5.
Yeah, some crazy amount.
Hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s, but you're AP 3, so he's got 6 up saves, damage 2. You only need 5 to go through to kill the Rhino. There's a more than 50% chance that that Rhino's gone this turn.
Looks like those Inceptors are
They're poking
getting
their heads
ready.
up. I think they're going to go try and shoot off whatever's sitting on objective 2.
I think he's going to use that as a, yeah, I
Maybe
was going
not.
to say, it's going to be the backup unit. Or maybe chip off a few wounds just to ensure that Rhino gets killed.
Sure.
It's a little more obnoxious firing on the objective 2 because he's got to shoot through the dents and -1.
Cool. Pizza's been ordered. Good stuff.
Good news, pizza's been ordered.
Pizza's been ordered.
The battle there.
Pizza time. Well, almost
It will be
pizza
pizza
time.
time.
I don't think I really need to move them either. I send Chaplain this way to drop and then fuck all these dudes up to take that whole objective from you.
Steven making some plans to go claim objective 4 away from Daniel. And probably a good thing too, because if he does not, that's just 5 points every turn that Daniel's guaranteeing. Whether it's hold more or a second objective.
And he's got to drop the banner over
Losing
there.
him.
Yep. He's only got one intercessor left in that squad.
Which I will.
That's going to be the
I
one
can
that
clear
counts.
that.
Yep.
You have bikes.
Well, it'll count for half a
You
turn
roll
until it
black
gets
dudes,
blown
man.
up by those bloat drones.
Yeah, the bloat drone will finish it off. One of the two will.
But you know, that's not the worst thing in the world, because if you put something over there that forces a bloat drone, which is good at killing Marines, to shoot at a single guy instead of into something more valuable, then there you go.
Oh, it looks like you were right. Looks like that that Smash Chaplain is taking off for that top number 4 objective. A little bit of a longer charge, but not impossible.
We're good there.
Probably like an 8-inch charge, would you say?
That's
Maybe 10,
I'm guessing 8.
Lazarus
8 or 9.
jumps over this way. He can stay. Okay.
Yeah, because these objective markers are 7.5
let's
inches
do that.
wide.
See the magic.
Oh shit! I ran away with it.
Got to get from there to there.
Well, I guess I could
Say around, yeah,
off the carry over there
8-ish.
as well,
But he gets reroll charges, right? If you did the right mantra.
If he
Or litany,
does,
sorry.
Yeah, I think
so his mantra is,
I'm not gonna
I
bring it back.
believe,
It's
give
okay.
him
We do
the
heal
plus
this
1
at the end of
strength
that.
and damage, and then
Boom.
plus
Okay,
1
let's
to
do some
wound.
casting here.
So nothing on
Casting
reroll
same
charges.
spells.
There is a mantra to
We're
do
gonna start
that,
with Engulfing Fear.
but I don't think he took that one.
5 goes to a 6.
I'm trying
we
to
don't
remember
get
my
it.
chaplain
We see
stuff.
if
I think you
reroll
get
back
that one
down
by
to 4,
default.
because that spell is important.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I always forget the one that you have by default, both for the Dark Apostles and for the Chaplains.
Okay. So on them.
And now for
Then
the
let's go
Infernal
ahead and
Master,
Mind
too.
Worm.
Well, the Infernal Master actually doesn't have
Get
one
it.
by default.
We'll put it
no.
on the shrouds again.
You have to pick 2. But he gets to
this is a
cast a
9
spell
you
on
rolled?
it, so there's that.
Do not.
Steven's actually been doing really well at
I would love it. if
getting
you
the
wanted
Psyker powers to pop off.
I know. No.
to. Okay.
What happened?
Okay, cool. Successful psychic phase. Let's move into the shooting. So 2d3 volume here, so it's going to be 3, 6, 9, 12 into that thing. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
Yeah, he's blapping everything in that Rhino.
Yep. And he's going to send those Blaze Guardian and those Poxwalkers to try and chunk as many away as he can
Here.
after shooting whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know if you can wipe the squad. I mean, there's just so many of them, but
Well, I think after shooting him with those
Actually-
with his bolters, because he's in tactical doctrine now.
Blap those dudes.
oh yeah.
Not that they were
the
ever getting a
Terminators
save,
are out there
but
with
The
their
opportunity
yeah.
to be able to pop this Rhino with the missiles. So
Hit
let's
on
start
2s.
hitting on 2s. And then I will do every Storm Bolter that can is going to go into Nurglings,
Okay.
which will be 2.
You want to give me your laser? I just want to make sure this guy can see them.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot the
can
Storm
because the
Bolters using
unit isn't
Nurglings there.
covered,
If he
so it's a
accidentally
Warhammer
pulls
basis
one
for
off though,
running
then that
Okay, so
Chaplain's
then if
gonna
that's
have
the
a
case, I
hard
don't
time
know if
charging.
this guy will be able to. I don't think he will. If we're using Daniel rules, he can because of your spike. See your spike to the oh no, yeah.
I'm just wondering if the model can actually see.
Look, I'm seeing the edge of my base to the
We
spike.
use laser
Yeah,
precision
I know
here.
you can draw a line of sight
the
though, but I'm
Warmaster
saying the model
challenge.
still has to physically see.
Right, what I'm saying is that that line of sight is my
I guess
model's
after so
base
many years, you
to
start
your
picking up a
model's
few
spike with the
tools
capability
over
of
here,
not
not just in
having to
gameplay.
Okay, I'm just wondering because I'm pretty sure all of this blocks because your base can see, and so can all this. I'm wondering if
I'm confused on what you're saying because I'm not going over that. If I go to the edge of my
Yeah.
base over your spike,
I know that right, but you still have to physically the model. Still has
We're checking to
physically
see if
the-
that single Terminator in the
Right,
back
but what
there
I'm
can
getting at
see
is
the
I'm
Rhino,
using any
so
part
he
of my
doesn't have
model,
to put
base
the
counts.
plasma
Any part
scepters
of your
into
model,
them.
the spike
Into
counts.
them.
Yeah, I'm just wondering
fire
if
the crack
if he
missiles.
could
Yeah,
truly
fire the
see-
crack
I know
missiles,
you
get
can
rid of the
draw
Rhino
the
that
line.
way.
It's
That
just
makes
there's
sense.
lot of
It's a lot
You're saying
easier
that
than
because it's so
wasting the
absolutely
plasma
just
scepters on a Rhino,
Okay.
And I mean, if
Yeah.
we're going to use the
And
typical
there's
logic, if
definitely
you're
better
shooting a
targets for
fighting
that.
gun behind
which
this
would then
over
open
a
up, I think,
canister,
those
yes,
models that are
I'm
sitting
just
on
saying,
objective
the
2
difference here, right, is
to
I
the
can
plasma
actually see it. I
scepters.
just
Right.
don't know if you can actually see it. But we can't prove it, so we're just gonna go ahead.
I mean, I don't think it matters too much, anyways. If you would like me to fire it separately, then I could do.
Yeah, if
I
you can
could
blow up
do-
the
let's do
Rhino.
Uh,
Well,
I would
let's
rather
see
just
what
avoid
they
the
do here.
tumult. We're gonna go him there. He's gonna go there with frag. So 2d6 frag missiles into the Nurglings. Dope.
3, 6, 9.
Got
Hitting on
9
twos,
frag
and
missile
winning
attacks
on
into
twos as well.
Nurglings.
It's better. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was minimum 6 going into him.
Should be rerolling the ones because of the Lazarus.
Sir.
Alrighty, and wounding on 2s.
Lazarus
because
being a
you're
champ once again.
It's 9 wounds. Say peace. 5s. Pretty good roll.
Not bad. And then 5s again.
That's again.
Let's go to base. We don't.
1 is a wound.
Okay.
We're going to do that. So these will just...
And
These
all
dice
that
right here are
only
gonna be the
chipped
banner.
off 3 wounds.
We're going to go ahead and...
Yeah, man, Nurglings are deceptively tough. They are squishable, but small arms fire.
All right, let's do the 2
Ooh,
storm bolters
it'll,
then. I can
find
see.
squishable.
And then if
Squishable is actually the name of their rule.
Yeah, I know, but what does that mean for viewers at home?
So squishable is a rule that Nurglings and only Nurglings have. It basically means that if you put in anything other than damage 1 into them, they no longer get their 5-up feeling pain that all Demon Death Guards still have. That being said, something that I've actually had FAQ'd, or rather not FAQ'd, but told to me by judges at tournaments, that commonly goes under the radar, is if you have a D3 damage weapon, and you roll a 1 into them, it is still damage 1 against them.
Okay.
It's not a because it's not a damage value. It's not a It's not a damage value of 1.
Right.
So therefore,
It's both.
3s to 1.
yeah.
It's both.
But it's an interesting little rule that came out
No.
back in 8th edition when the Knights roamed the battlefields, and you could reroll all 1s with Knights with that stratagem. So you were rerolling 1s to hit, wound, and on damage.
Wow.
So.
And 4s to wound, because I'm T4. And you're in tactical, so if anyone's in cover, they won't get it, which they're not.
Okay.
So I just have 6 up Thinel Pain here. We're going to take 5. 2. 5.
Okay.
We'll go
Starting to chunk down those boxwalkers a little bit.
Okay, next thing we're going to do is we'll do auto bolt rifle there.
Slowly but surely, as is the Death Guard way.
Yeah.
It's all of them. 2s.
I take another wound. Down the dose.
Okay, pistol from the chaplain. Hits. Wounds.
Good.
Okay, so chaplain, green squad, and 1 intercessor has shot. Let's go ahead and do all the cyclone missile launchers into the greater possessed.
Okay.
Hitting on 2s.
Yeah, Greater Possessed is a character, so it was getting screened by those Nurglings, but now that there's no longer 3 there,
Wounding on 2s.
you can eliminate your threat from your,
I will T5.
the threat to your intercessor, so you can more confidently walk on there and deal with the Nurglings.
So check that while you think this out.
You are right. It is T5. Okay, it is T5. Strength and toughness 5.
Actually, that Chaplain's in a very interesting spot because, yeah, he could go over
he has a
there
5-up invulge.
and deal with whatever's on objective 4,
So that's going to be a double
but
fail.
he's still in that position to go attack the center
See, the
if need
problem
be.
is,
Yeah.
I messed up.
It's a great placement, actually.
That would have made your charge a little bit farther. 2
But
D6
also,
is-
he needs to be careful about those bullet drones.
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead. You just need to roll piss.
4 up saves will only do you so much against the bolt drones, especially with 2 of them right there.
Perfect.
I don't think the farther one to the right is going to have enough movement to get line of sight on him, but one on the top definitely can.
For the Nurglings, which is only it's only going to be 2.
Okay, so 8 shots.
Well, they have fly, so they're not taking the penalty to move through that terrain.
Yeah, so 12
And
shots.
I want to say they have 10 inches of movement,
1, 2.
so he might.
2s. And
No re-rolling 1s because I'm away from Lazarus.
Yeah, but if the chap doesn't move, you're going to need to be
2s.
over here or
Right,
over here somewhere. So
right, but I think
don't
if
think
the,
this could make
if the chaplain tries to charge in there.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
well,
yeah. If he moves from his current position, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he will, considering now that Greater Possessed is gone. And it looks like the Nurglings are almost down to nothing, which
Right now we can test
that Sergeant Intercessor should
so
definitely be able to go in
because
there
in the sweep
and
and clear rolls, you actually
clear
have to
that
take
last
it from
guy.
me in order for me to lose it. I still control it right now. With Vital Intelligence and with Sweeping Clear, if I control it in the command phase, I don't lose it unless you take it. Contesting it does not.
Got it. Okay.
Just as a
So
clarification.
mission-specific rule here.
So then let's go ahead and go
Coming
frag.
Interesting.
Grenade launcher.
I know we joke about AOS being a weird game,
I
but
see.
we're using AOS objective holding rules in this mission,
But just for this mission.
That's hot.
which are, for those of you who don't know, if you control objective at the start of your command phase,
Oh, I didn't move.
or rather, I believe it's the end of your command phase,
You're a kind
then,
Five
I
wounds.
mean,
I'm straight 3, so
nothing's
I
going
move
to
you on 3.
change in there, but if you control it during that time, then you control it until your opponent walks on it and claims it.
So I'm gonna fail those. I gotta make
All of them.
all of them, or I gotta make one of them to live. Take a wound, down to 2.
There's those Nurglings again.
So
Being way more resilient than they should be.
I should have gotten
They
green.
always
I
are.
could have done some.
But the dangerous thing here is if he doesn't clear off those Nurglings,
Okay,
there's a 1 CP stretch.
Sweet.
or
Let's
2, I
do.
believe, to bring all the lost models back on the 5
I think the next thing we're gonna do is
So,
all of the
yes, that's
Inceptors
good.
there.
Okay.
But
I think I'm gonna weapons
if Daniel's
in the
down to
dark. I don't
5
think
CP, I
do
don't know if
weapons
he's
in the
going
dark. I
to
think I could do it.
spend that.
I'm gonna get
He's
close.
got to keep 3 in the tank for an emergency.
Right.
57.
But he's also got his
sorry.
tally man
Weapons,
still.
you'll be winning on 4s.
So he's getting 1, possibly
But I
2
think
every
I
turn.
overcharge and weapons.
there
By
is that.
overcharge and weapons, I need to get 3 of them through. But I think it's overkill. It's 2 CP there.
Tactical, right? So you're AP 4.
So you get no save against it. So it's just 2 But if I don't do that, though, I need to get 5 of them through.
Well, how many shots?
I think I just
40s?
overcharge standard here. I think that's the
I think
call.
that's the call because you're getting the reroll ones. You don't need to spend the CP when you can already overcharge.
And I hope
So
I
you're
just
getting
roll on the upper side. I'm hitting all. Yeah, I think I just overcharge standard
So
here.
we'll have to roll.
One thing I like about games like this is you see both players advising each other
I'm
on the
debating
best
if I
possible
want
move.
to.
Hang on a second here.
Yeah,
Do I
great
want to-
sportsmanship on both
I think I just
sides
want to
here.
get that thing dead.
Not
because
not
that's
nearly
what
as much
Black Legion
banter as I was
wants.
hoping
It's
for,
gonna matter
but
a lot. So I think what I'm going to do here is.
but
I
great
will
sportsmanship.
weapons here.
Both of
And I
these
will
guys, great
elect-
players, having played against both of them.
I'm at 2 CP.
Last time I
I'm
played
going
Daniel, I
to-
brought
so you're gonna
3 brass
overcharge
scorpions, and he just had a bad day.
Weapons.
But yeah, great opponents on
3
both
shots,
sides.
averaging 16.
That thing's dead as hell. 3 need to go through.
Yeah, I won't smoke screen. There's
Okay,
no
first
point.
guy. Volume is
4 shots.
4 shots to hit. Hits
Cool.
them all. The next guy.
5 shots. A good thing I didn't smoke screen. Unless you roll all 3s, I'm gonna be this sad.
Reroll the 1.
Who's died? No.
Okay, that's probably enough right there.
Oh, that's definitely enough.
Sweet.
I don't know what Steven's talking about.
Roll 1s. No.
Is that right? 3 wounds left?
Last one.
I don't know, not very many, because it did get hit with the missiles earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Spend no CP. So 3s. Yeah, you just roll it and then I'll just see if I explode.
that round was about to be as dusty as a
I think you got him.
6, 9, 10.
yeah, that round was about to be as dusty as a Rubik brain.
So
You shouldn't be able to touch on the object. Oh, you might be able
I
to.
will be able to. I'm going to just roll now because disembarking doesn't make any difference at all. 2 will die. 3 will die.
3 will die.
Yikes.
Not a great roll for popping out of that rhino.
Nope.
On top. Okay. So it's from the hull.
Getting more Black Legion onto that center objective like he wanted. Although they are going to have to make a morale check for losing even a
3.
single model.
What's their morale?
Cultist,
Like 5
leadership
or something?
6.
6? Okay.
Leadership 6 with the sergeant. Leadership 5 without. So if you lose a single model, you're taking morale. And they lost 3, so they're going to have to pass. They're going to have to. He's going to have to roll 1, 2, or
So
3,
when you're shooting, you just got some charges.
if I can
That's
math
pistols.
correctly, to pass that
We're going
morale
to put
check.
Ezekiel's pistol into the cultist. Hits. 3
And now we've got
Doesn't work.
additional juicy
We're gonna
targets for
put
those blade guard
all of the
bets.
blade guard pistols.
Blade guard pistols into the cultist, so guaranteeing that even more die, because 6-up armor save into any AP feels very, very bad real
So
fast.
1 misses. Was that 1 miss?
I think he was 2 misses. Well, so 2 wounds regardless.
Yeah.
AP 1.
AP 1.
So I will get a. We'll take it on this guy here.
Although, oh, never mind.
Dead.
I was gonna say, although if Abaddon was within, or
I would actually do this guy
Abaddon,
here.
I'm sorry, I mispronounced that.
Right here.
If Abaddon was within 6 of them, or maybe it's actually 12, I have to double check.
Yep.
He
Lazarus's
gives
pistol
all
will go into
Heretic
them.
Astartes fearless,
Oh, yeah.
so that could be in play. I'll double check
Wasn't
that.
that
real
a
fast.
meta move for a
This
hot minute
charge
to have
here
big cultist blobs that were fearless?
So they can
For
charge
about, probably for about 3
Yeah, I don't
weeks.
think it matters.
It was tried out, I think, when he got his new
Okay,
model.
charges. Blade guard are going into both.
Sorry, real quick. I'm gonna spend 1. We're gonna try and infest over here.
What does that do?
I'm gonna try and get some Nurgling bases back.
Oh, in a phase where they lost it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this would be in the shooting phase. Damn, that stratagem has not been working out lately.
Okay. How many do you have now?
4.
4. You had 7, you world killed.
It is 12 inches.
Down to 4. You
So,
don't get a CP back.
I
No,
think
I
those
command
cultists,
so
if
that
he
five
put them
might
in
be
the
in
right,
range, yeah.
if he put them in the right
Four with
spot,
that
which
one
I
CP.
think he did,
Okay.
Yes.
He's going to give
didn't
those
generate
cultists
one.
fearless, and that's going to be a big
yeah,
help for
charging.
him.
I need a 4 to get into both.
If they survived at the end of the turn here.
We're in on a 6.
Yes, if they survive.
And you were right. You did. Daniel did try to get some more Nurglings over there, and his roll failed. I guess you have to roll to see if the bases come back.
Yes, on a 5-up for each model. So if you got 4 in the squad and there's 1 left alive, you roll 3 dice for each model, and on every 5-up, that model comes back at full health.
That's your intention, so
He rolled to 0-5.
The Terminators will charge.
Yeah, I mean, he started out with 3 in the squad, so there's 2, and on a single 5-up, 1 comes back, which is...
But that would have been the difference between having that Nurgling, or having Nurglings on there at the end of the turn or not, because that
Oh, yeah.
that assault sorry, I keep saying assault intercessor. That intercessor can charge in there, probably knock off the last 2 wins on that one.
Oh, all but guaranteed.
I would say guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed, but there's a greater than 50% chance that happens, because he's hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s.
How far did I go? 7.
But he only gets 3 attacks. Or if it's a
Right
sergeant.
there's
it'll
fine.
get
Other charges.
It's a sergeant.
Yeah.
So you're hitting 3 times, wounding
okay. Fighting.
3
I don't
times,
have any. I think the most
and then he
important
needs to
thing here
fail.
to do
You can only
is
pass 1 5-up, feeling pain.
You can interrupt
or
here.
invuln,
You
which-
fight me with the.
I mean, there's a
let's go
chance that
ahead
he spikes his roll and
smash
he,
the Poxwalker
and keeps it
first
on,
here.
but
Okay.
We're gonna go here.
I don't think
So do you get
I
your
don't think
plus
4
one when
attacks
you
is
charge?
gonna
I do.
kill to
My
take 2
plus
wounds
1
off of.
To hit.
to hit. Oh no.
So it's only on like my turn, right?
Yeah. If it's the only
mathematically
exclusions
it
are
probably
pilots.
won't. But knowing how Nurglings roll when it comes down to that last 1 or 2 wounds,
Alrighty.
it's going to fail.
So.
But yeah,
you're
no,
gonna
I
get
totally agree with you.
Sergeant,
Don't get me wrong. That
And then
getting one of those
1,
Nurglings back at full health would have made a world of
Oh,
difference.
you're saying that the Nurglings roll
3
worse if they get down to the
other
last model?
charges. I already
Oh, always.
Oh, interesting.
they-
Guardsmen do
If you're
better.
cool with it, I would like to charge the
You'll,
check.
you'll make those 5-ups all day on your
Oh,
last
yeah.
guardsman in the
Your
squad.
intention was
Yep.
to move them. So.
Nurglings do well when
that
they're
you
in their
would
bulk,
work.
and then when you get down to those last few key rolls and you start rolling them individually, all of a sudden the 5s disappear.
Right here.
They go from being overly abundant to like, where did they all
You
go?
want to just put them down here?
So there we go. The Smash Chap made his charge from downtown.
Interesting choice, though, to go after that one Nurgling. I think he did want to guarantee that he got him off the objective, even though he's going to face both bloat drones shooting
Yeah.
on the next turn.
Thank you for that. I appreciate
It's gonna be a
it.
little rough.
It's 12 shots, hitting on 3s,
1, 2,
you're rolling
3, 4.
1s.
But that once again, that keeps those bloat drones from shooting into
I want to smash your
It's true.
stuff in the
Poxwalkers 'cause I
middle.
fear
That is true, but I
you
think
trying
he's
to hit
going
me
to
back
put
with
those.
them,
And I
and
think
do
that's
a
the
shitload of
temptation:
work.
is
Okay.
how fast can you kill
I'm not
him?
harbingers, so I don't.
So you can't do the Poxwalker strat.
I can only do 6s. I can't re-roll my hits though.
So, and how many attacks are there?
2 each.
I mean, I don't think it matters because if they all die, my Blade Guard just get to fight your cultist anyways.
True.
And I just rather would take away the opportunity of that damage.
Okay.
So, here's the hammers.
Okay. 4s, right?
So chat is looking for lists.
Yes,
We're
should
gonna
be
pop
forced.
those
There's
on the screen
no cool sauce.
in just a moment here. I
and
want
should be
to
within
get this
reroll
combat
one's range.
phase
6
resolved.
inches is there.
It's the Valley of the Shadow of Death here in the center,
Yeah.
the Thunderdome, if you will, because whoever controls the center is going to make a big push in this game with the secondaries that each player has chosen.
His ass on the wind.
Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Cool. That's a cool thing. All right.
Make sure he's within. There you
Daniel,
go.
man, being a bro, letting Steven go back a little bit and
Matters that much.
look out for that
Does, but I mean, he's not
apothecary.
gonna, Selfless Healer's not going to come into play for a while, so it's like whatever.
Probably next turn, the turn after.
So
Yeah, because if he doesn't, then that's a whole range of 6-up feeling pains that he's not getting.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Like I said earlier, great opponents, great guys. You definitely would get some people sometimes that would be like, no, that's too critical of a move. But
well, it's really good because when you pull out a win in those circumstances, you know that you got it.
yeah, you didn't get it with an asterisk.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just going to roll these. Any successes, I'll roll again.
okay.
So 3, 6, 8. I think that might be the squad. 2, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, so that's
Oh,
the
there goes the Poxwalkers.
Probably helped you a little bit, but it's
Meet
okay.
their demise.
All right. I imagine you don't wish to interrupt anywhere. No. Let's just do my chaplain's 10 attacks here at that Nurgling base.
Steven just really wants to roll the chaplain out just to show him off.
And I want to see it.
Reroll hits, all of them for Litany of Hate, right?
It's got to be the litany that you cast, right? You didn't. Oh, did you cast litany of hate?
Uh-huh.
You did. Yeah, reroll hits.
So hits them all.
Okay. And
10 attacks, 10 hits.
So
Two's
Choose wound.
to wound, and he's only getting his invuln here. He's not getting a Fiona Pain because it's damage 2. No squishable here.
3 flat damage on that.
Yeah, three flat damage.
Oh,
But
that was close. All right, well, he's dead. Please go down.
he needed 1 to go through.
let's go ahead
Five
and
over here. What's up, Wyatt?
How's it going?
Good. I'm letting Steve win.
Oh no.
Consolidates on for the point there.
Like I said, we're just.
And now that actually gives 2 separate targets that he's going to need to shoot off to get that objective.
And it takes down a banner,
Steven's gonna
Yeah.
play me if it's
which is
regulars.
going to be a big thing. That's denying
okay, let's go here.
Voldemort right there, and it's denying a point for banner, so that's a 6-point swing.
He's gonna let me speed walk. That's very nice.
John and I didn't get to play. He got called into work.
Oh, Gary was here.
I know. Well, he
did.
thought he would be fine, and then as soon as Gary did, John got called in. So it's like,
Well, on the upside, we're getting pizza.
I'm hanging out. I want to chat before you guys leave.
Okay, here's the Blade Guard text. Oh, nope, I did 1 too many. Hang on a second. I have 4 Blade Guard now, not 5. So, Sergeant, 1, 2, 3 more. Yeah, I had a whole extra Blade Guard.
And those blade guards just
Okay,
put out so many attacks.
2s with rerolls.
I think at this point, if we want, we can probably switch over to those lists again, just to quickly go over them one more
let's
time.
go consolidate.
I'll do
We
that
are gonna
right now.
come,
So we've got
let's be G here.
Daniel's list here, running the 3 detachments. He's got the 1 Black Legion there, so he can use the strat to get super duper obsec on everything.
+1 to hit Blade Guard. What's up, baby?
We've got some
yeah,
Nurglings and
sure,
other things in the
That
second
my
one,
turn. This
and
can
a
go away.
buffing character,
So you killed another vehicle, so you're gonna get 4 for.
and then his Death Guard in the third.
4 for the O's.
So this is a bromance. You're gonna get 3 for direct ass. Cool. All right, so we're gonna update your player score there.
Sounds like they have completed their round and are doing scoring now, so we'll switch over to Steven's list.
Change turn.
Pretty simple. We've got the Green Wing Patrol,
And then you will get
Ezekiel
2
Intercessors, some Plasceptors, and the Ravenwing Apothecary, and then Deathwing
All right,
Vanguard
So we'll go up to.
with Lazarus, Interrogator Chaplain,
So this is where I have to
Blade
decide
Guard
once
Vets,
again
Terminators.
if I wanna
Oh
try
yeah,
and
Blade Guard
survive
Vets, which I already
use
mentioned.
another 5.
Oh, Blade Guard Ancient, that's what I missed, which is his Warlord.
Yeah, that Blade Guard Ancient being a pretty key centerpiece to this list.
You're gonna booby block me.
I appreciate the graciousness here.
All right, going into the
Like
top
I said,
turn 3.
I actually kind of want to see what happens if I left him.
He's looking to see if Abaddon can finally make his appearance.
I would have got another 15, which I think was.
Yeah, so very interesting here. The Blade Guard Vets went in, they dumped out their attacks, cleared the Poxwalkers and the Cultists and that Rhino. Moved up to look like they're going to body block. I think Steven's committed
You know
them
what? I
there
swung
to
his
eat that
attack anyway.
counter charge
He's up there.
and
I'm
leave
out
the
of the way. Let's see
Terminators
what
in a good
happens.
position then to counter
Let's see what
charge.
happens.
Yeah, I think that's the play that Steven has to make, but the question is, does Daniel have the firepower
Yeah.
to remove those
He's
Blade
6 to
Guards?
this guy. 6
Absolutely.
inches from him.
Those shrouds, I mean, they do a lot of damage. I mean, the one does a lot of damage. You can dump a lot of mortal wounds.
Canticle.
And it does look like, yep, Daniel did pop World Killers for 1 more turn, so anything Black Legion touches an objective, it is theirs.
I don't know if this is the time to use my tech that I've been waiting for.
Yeah, Dale's discussing if you want to spring the trap now.
I don't know if I'm scared or not.
It's actually really good against you.
Steven, if you're asking the question if you should be scared or not, the answer is yes.
Okay, so you got a big boy with me over here. You got 2 dudes on the point.
So right now my chaplain's definitely trading up. My chaplain has killed himself a
And while they're
solid.
discussing, we'll just go through the objectives that the secondaries each player chose.
Killing all my stuff.
For Daniel, we've got Raise the
Priority
Banners,
1 is obviously Black
Stranglehold,
Legion stuff.
and Direct Assault.
So yeah, right now Daniel's only scoring 2 from banners this turn. Direct Assault has
We're gonna
been
go up to 2 then.
relatively
for
good for
the
him, but
command
we'll see if
phase.
he can get it this turn.
And then Steven's got Stubborn
I'll be at 3 again,
Defiance,
so that'll put me in,
also Direct
World Killer
Assault,
range
and
next
Oath of the
time.
Moment.
Do it. Dude, so I was reading this, and there was like a load of typos.
And Steven going second,
also put
taking that
just
O's,
FBC.
is definitely
Like, no, no,
helped.
no.
Definitely feeling a lot better than if he went first,
that's,
and wondering if he's going to get certain things,
that's the tablet.
get
Yeah, I
certain
got
things
the
off for him.
here. We're doing that, so we're gonna go update here. So I'm gonna world kill
No, it's
again.
interesting. Actually, now
That's
that I think
really
about
the
it, that
only choice
chaplain on objective 4, along with the single marine, means that
here.
there we go.
I'm just
Because
wondering.
it means that he's going to have to kill both units. He can't just kill one.
Right.
Flamer, so
to
we're gonna
claim that
we're gonna
objective
advance
back.
him.
So maybe the chaplain lives.
Because he already took the -2.
And I see what he's going to try and do here.
So we're gonna get the +1. We're gonna be able to flame
Drone
those
in,
things there.
kill the Marine, charge the chap
Flame
maybe.
on.
But if he doesn't kill it, that counterattack's going to murder that float drone.
Oh, for sure. You know, I think Daniel might. I don't know if he's kicking himself or not. We'll definitely. I'll ask him this when he comes back at the end. He pulled those bikes back to cover his rear objective,
Where are they advancing to?
even though
I don't know.
he's got
The World Killers thing.
he's got the World Killers thing, and the bikes have the extra movement. And you were still playing the mission where if you touch the objective
Stay there the whole
in your, or if you hold the objective in your command phase, then you have the objective.
So
I wonder if he
I think we can
either
reasonably
forgot about
kill
that
that
or just
chaplain.
didn't think I can move the bikes over to be an
No, I
additional
think
support.
I think he just wants something back there that's going to hold that. Anything he puts over on 4, if he can't kill that chap this turn,
If we get lucky, maybe
he's
we'll
going to
try
lose. And then he's just feeding that chap more and more units.
I also
2
want to just
wounds left.
I want to keep you.
Bikes
I wanna
going
keep
in
you at
there with
5,
chain
at least
swords.
for one more
It's
turn.
3 attacks
you
per
do whatever
model,
you wanna
4
do.
with Sergeant at AP1. So he's taking his 4-up armor save. It could finish him off. So, plus they've got their bolter shots. So maybe he puts him over there and just gets some few pot shots off with him.
So these are actually Death Watch, so I'm actually infantry.
No, they are not.
Alright, Abby's got 7 wounds.
Daniel, in fact, forgot his Death Guard bikes, and so is borrowing some bikes from Joel, another player here.
That sounds like heresy to me.
Well, I mean, it's Death Guard versus Dark Angels. The whole board's heresy.
That's fair.
What do I want to do with this shroud block? These bikes need to hang out for another turn. Honestly.
Yeah, you can see that last turn where Steven only got 5 on the primary, already taking a huge hit on his score overall. And Daniel's plan of winning the objective game definitely paying off so far.
Needs to move back.
But we'll see if he can hold on to it in the late game.
That's
Yeah, he's running out of CP to use the
Lord of Contagion, man.
the
World
OPSEC strat.
Killers, yeah.
World Killers.
He's got one more turn of it, and that's if he doesn't use anything else.
Right.
Or doesn't use anything else that costs more than 1 CP.
Walk back.
But at this point, it's been hurting Steven's primary game enough to make it matter.
Oh, it's been worth it every single time so far.
No, they do not. I don't want to fight
Especially
last
if he can get Madden onto that same objective, clear out a bunch of the Terminators so he can't really hurt him back.
So is it just fight lots?
Ooh, that's feels bad moment for Steven.
It's what's the other thing on it? There's another thing.
Take a mortal wound. Have I been taking mortal wounds this whole time?
Nope. I know you take a mortal wound. I just forgot to impose it.
Okay, got it. I like that. Okay.
Also, I don't know if Steven has scored any of his Stubborn
These guys were
Defiance yet.
here. So
That's scored at the end of the
technically,
game,
if I really
right?
wanted to, I could maybe
I believe it
go
does.
around this way and maybe just try and see if I could eat through this as much of this unit as possible.
Stubborn Defiance, progressive objective. Yeah, so I think he's been scoring it.
Okay. We'll see at the end of the game when we get the scorers back.
I just realized. So at the beginning of the battle round, per World Killers,
Because if I'm Steven, that's one
that
thing I'm
also just
definitely
the
not
command phase?
forgetting at the end.
Right.
so like the beginning of the
Oh,
battle
look at
round,
that, it's a
right?
15-point
That's
swing.
The beginning of the battle round is your command phase, right? Or is it the beginning of the battle round, then the command phase? Are they like separate things?
Separate. Yeah, your command phase. The beginning of the battle round turns before your turn begins.
Gotcha.
Just like a redeploy or a start of the first battle round before the first turn begins. So
Got it. Okay, that's what I thought. I guess in this case you could move. Try and do some dice hammer math.
Yeah, so chat, while we're waiting for them to finish movement for turn
I think I kind of
3,
have to just go all in right now.
any questions
Try and
about
see
the
maybe
upcoming
if I'm really
league
lucky,
or
maybe I can
about
find both of these
the
slots.
Warmaster Challenge in general, we'd love to
Really
hear them.
appreciate the dice.
We had a question earlier, for those of you who have joined us now,
We're gonna go around.
what's a model that you would love to see return to competitive play that just hasn't hit the battlefield in a long time? We've had answers like Carnifex.
Contagion. We'll go 5.
I personally said I'd love to see old One Eye come back. Just
Biology, speech, fire.
Storm Raven, see the battlefield again in competitive play.
I don't really need it that much.
Just models you haven't, something you haven't dusted off the shelf in a long time. Just put it out there.
That sucks. I actually wanted a better advance than that. here. So I think what we'll do is he will go as well. Abaddon's going to come play. I think we just got to make the play now.
What's your banner score at?
3. Because he took me down over here. And they're 2 wins, Blakeguard?
Blakeguard 3 wins a pop.
3 wins each. Okay, so that actually makes things a little bit better for me. Yeah, and I think these guys will just chill right here. They're going to just keep hanging out. Okay, so I think that's going to be it from me. We're going to go ahead and go to the psychic phase. We'll consult the gaze. No. Cool. I guess for what it's worth, Abaddon will throw his bolter into those Deathwing Terminators. 2s, reroll everything because he's cool like that. Cool. 4s. 3, AP1, D3 damage.
Do I have a guy in cover? AP1. We'll make a Terminator that's on a 1-up. We'll go on a Stormbolter that should be chilling in cover, right? I have 1 guy. No, I don't. So we'll just go on. We're gonna
Speaking
go on,
from past experience, that is definitely one I am glad is not on the competitive play because that thing used to be broken.
Yuvara,
I'm
what is
out
that?
of my field of play.
That's
So yeah,
a
go ahead.
I'm gonna roll
flaming.
both of these because you're -1 damage.
So if it's
What's it called? It's a
so
tau
one of them's
model.
2. The other
Instead
one's
of those
you got it.
riptides,
Yes.
it was an experimental riptide suit that had an 18-inch flamer,
Oh.
right.
which was
That's
like
cool.
strength
So we'll
6
start
-2
here.
flat 2 damage.
We'll go with this guy.
Like 3d3 auto
Everything
hitting
with a
shots.
single intercessor.
It was disgusting.
Sounds balanced.
Ooh, it's not very good.
Yeah, I think you can get upgraded damage or
Yeah,
something to be in better. It was gross.
3s. So you're gonna have 3 AP3s, 2 damage. 6s. Wait. Yes, sir.
Boom.
4, 5, 6. We will go ahead and do the second one. And your chap one. Okay.
Shots coming into the chap.
Hit.
See if we can move him.
Does he have inner circle as well? Okay.
Got inner circle.
Oh boy.
Should
So
have
these are 3
5
damage.
wounds, I
These are
believe.
doubles on your invul.
Yes. 4 or 5 wounds. But it is not the Primaris, actually, so I think it might be
Right.
4.
So these are 2 a pop.
Yes, sir.
So let's go 1 at a time.
2
Fails
damage.
it. Saves.
So he's gonna live.
He
wound left.
lives. What else do you have to shoot? Nothing else to shoot.
I could potentially try and flame you to death for 1 CP. I could extend my range.
How many CP do you have?
3. So
Ooh, it'll stop you from a world kill, though. I kind of want
one
that.
kill or I don't.
You can still do it anyways.
Chap's gonna be left on 1
Strength,
wound.
those is 3?
3.
So you're winning me on 5s.
Yep.
And ain't no AP?
No wait.
And you can't. I'll let you do that. If you want to do that, I'm down.
Okay. So you've got 1 wound left.
I've got 1 wound. Let me put a marker there.
Can Daniel
Bites.
get him
One
off
bite can also shoot at you.
of that objective?
I think we'll do that. So we'll start with the strong bolters.
It's going to be dense.
Yeah. So 4s and then 4s. Cool. 2. 1.
Taking 1 save.
Saves.
That's good.
Power armor coming in
armor.
clutch.
Yep.
But will it last?
Power armor never
6.
works until it does.
I mean, it doesn't work properly unless you shout power armor.
That is true. It's in the book.
Mammon.
It's about the only thing CSM have going for him right now.
Power armor.
I guess I'll shoot the blade guard.
Not even that.
33. So 5.
Right in the middle.
Sorry. 6.
6, yeah.
5, 6. 4s. 2 on your invul for 2 damage.
For Blade Guard.
Yes, sir.
AP is what?
3.
Yep. 2, no. So 2 goes to 1 on my invul.
2 damage.
2 damage. I don't have any mitigating factors. So let's put it on.
Taking some damage on
One
the
Abaddon,
blade
so put
guard.
it on my boy.
Yeah, he's got to be real careful about where he places wounds here. If he somehow incidentally loses 1 or more of those models, that could punch a hole to let Abaddon charge through.
Yeah, well, I don't think Abaddon charging through is the question here, because if he gets, depending on the distance, obviously,
rerolling hits.
depending on distance,
Abaddon?
obviously,
Nothing.
he's gonna
Oh, he is.
try and
Yes.
swing around that
Where is
corner.
he? Right here.
and then
Forgot about him.
possibly
Everything
pile
with
into
Black
the
Legion, mark on its skull.
Terminators themselves.
I don't know that he's got room.
All right.
Are you saying? Here, let me pop it up on the screen.
All right, so we're gonna have to do some charges here.
Are you saying swing around
Lord
this
of
side?
Contagion will charge
Yes.
the Blade Guard.
Yeah, I don't know if his base has enough room between that crate and the model to fit, but I
think
can't
it
tell from
does.
this.
But it's hard to tell from here.
Yeah.
Exalted Champ will charge them. He's good.
We need a camera on a drone and just fly it around.
Because that's what we need.
The players would love it.
Dudes.
Oh yeah, definitely not lightweight models getting knocked over every other second.
I think so. I'm gonna try. Abaddon.
The bad man himself.
Here he goes. See if he's doing. No, he's not going that way.
Yeah, you know what? Because if he does try and pull that and he piles into those Terminators return fire and murder
Oh,
him.
yeah.
So that, there is that.
I think the last thing left is
But
the Shrouds.
he does put Abaddon in cover, so he's got a 1-up armor save now, at least from shooting.
Oh shoot, this is hard for you.
Yeah, it is. That smoke screen, turn 1, is really biting me in the ass right now. Also, the fact that I didn't generate a CP on turn 2, that really stinks as well. Jeez. I think it is. I think it is worth a reroll here. I will go down to 2. I really need to get
Daniel
into
going
that.
down to 2
I'm
CP.
either going to do
Danger
a bunch of
zone.
damage or I'm not. So we're gonna do this really cheeky.
Getting those Terminators in though for that charge.
Yeah,
This
that could be
is the
clutch.
battle.
Want to be
This is the fight we've been waiting for.
possible, so you can only get like a couple of dudes.
So he had been mentioning previously about shutting down ores and all that. So what
I'm just gonna do
character
it like that because I'm
procs
fighting
that?
last, so they're gonna be
I
able to
believe
pile
he
into
said
me.
Memon the Transfigure, which is that Demon Prince in that top middle up there.
Okay,
This guy right here?
Yes, I
at the
believe
end
so.
of your charge phase, before we move into the fight phase, let me ask you some questions. What are you trying to do?
Either
What
that
strategies
or
are available
his
here?
Lord of
Which one's
Contagion.
the sergeant and which
I
one's
think
the
it was
sergeant?
Lord of Contagion.
Okay, and he's the only
No,
one
you're
that
right.
generates
It was Lord of Contagion. Who?
Which is right there, I
It's
think.
2 on 6s.
Oh, okay.
Wait, where?
The only stratagem I have is +1 to wound, or I can make you -4
I
leadership.
think
which
that
is
is it.
essentially
Seems like
useless
stream
against
positioning
you.
for that, but
That's really bad.
Well, I think he's
Can't
also got
quit.
most of his characters tied under that. Steven's got most of his
So, I think what
characters
we're
tied
gonna do
under
is
the
we're gonna go with
building
Chaplain.
Right.
in his
Go against
deployment
the
zone,
Chaplain.
so that actually puts him in range of it. Issue is, it's a 6-inch aura right now, and you have to spend the CP to increase it to 12.
I don't think he needs to if he just needs to hit the
Yeah.
Terminators. 'Cause, I
Still
mean, that's
strength 6,
less than 6
CP2.
inches.
Right.
One
Because
damage,
Daniel
so on 3s.
is now down to 2 CP. He hasn't
So,
updated it yet. But he is getting one more guaranteed next turn. So I'll bring him up to 3. It's just he's going to have to hope that he procs another CP from his
Gonna have to
Tallyman
spend another one.
to do anything else.
He's spending another CP.
2 wounds. AP2.
He spent a CP to reroll the charge on the Terminators.
So, okay, 4 ups.
Yeah, and he spent another one just now.
Oh, okay.
We're going to CP that.
Down to 1. That sucks.
That puts Steven down to 1 as well.
Down to 1. Come on, baby. We're good.
That dude is taking so many. Alright, need to relax. That is. That's really good rolling, dude. My God. You know what I should
Not
have?
really, I've just been saving a lot. I've been investing CP into
Yeah.
it.
Well, he's
The volume's low.
Daniel's
So he's
cursed.
tanked a bunch of involts.
Your
He
opponent
should have at
rolling
least
good.
died on that last one. He
Then
made
again, it's
4,
everybody's curse, so.
3 out of 5 saves.
No, you've only dealt 2 in the shooting phase and 2 in the combat.
I did 5 wounds to you.
No, I should fail. And
Must
I
be a
CP,
Steven thing, because the last time I played against them, it
Okay.
was just I rolled so many saves
So if I
with
live,
the,
it's
with
contested.
the
I could
Brass
blow up and
Scorpions,
kill you, which would actually honestly
with
be
his
better.
I think,
Plague Burst Crawler
I
shooting
had to
in there.
reroll, so I can't,
Can't interrupt.
and I can't line Unbreakable because it's the start of the fight phase. Okay. I was like, dude, I could line Unbreakable these guys. I thought about doing that, but I was like, I was thinking you were probably going to get greedy and
So
fight
to
here
enter
first.
chat, when did
So
we
that I
make
was
the change to do the
interrupted.
players? We did that, I think,
I knew the Blade
probably
Guard can't really do
2
shit
months
against me.
ago.
I knew that you had to save
We got some feedback that people really wanted to hear the
Because I was
players
like, I can
banter
line
back and
Unbreakable,
forth,
make
so
those Death Shroud worthless,
we got the
or-
mic set up in the room and turned it on.
Okay. We'll go
I
with
think
Abby.
before
Full power up.
we as in the announcers and those people who were kind of watching what was
Twos,
going on,
exploding sixes.
we could always hear, but it's definitely
No, it's exploding
nicer
fives.
than
He's Warlord.
kind
That's
of going
his
back,
roller
getting
trick.
to
He's
hear.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
everyone's
time.
feedback.
There's a lot of
Sorry, Blade Guard,
spots
so-
in the show where the players will be discussing something for long periods of time. So we want to make sure that the listeners could hear that.
Right.
No, it's re-rolling failed wounds.
truth.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear the players' thoughts because sometimes we're conversating about something and then we miss something
Difference
important.
is 2 twos.
So
Can you
that way
reroll two
you
of these
guys
twos?
get to hear everything
I
as well.
believe it's reroll. Oh no, Lieutenant's reroll 1. He's reroll all. Is that the power of him? Because let's see.
Dark
You can
Fossil
reroll
giving.
failed wound rolls in the fight phase for friendly
Yep.
Legion units that are within 6
Oh my
inches of
god,
assault.
that's what makes him
Yep.
one. Okay,
It's
cool.
reroll
Good. So
all
you've got
failed in the fight
5 dice
phase
to
though.
reroll.
That's the sucky thing is he doesn't get reroll anything in
Roll
shooting.
for you. And you've
So
got 2 more.
I think the only
3-1.
thing that I know of for
These roll 3
CSM that
damage.
allows
So for the first
reroll
guy-
wound rolls,
Saves.
and that's for
One
CSM,
at a time.
is
So that guy's dead,
a
and the rest
warlord
of them-
trait for Iron
These are
Warriors
flat 3.
Yes, sir.
called Siege Master. It says reroll 1s to wound for vehicles. And that's all phases too, but
Cool. So he's going to go like
as
that.
far as
We
I
will
know,
activate
it's
them with
only
the Exalted
Death
Champion
Guard
to
that
take
actually
the objective
gets
from you.
any rerolls to
He's
wound
Black Legion. He already takes it.
He's not on the objective.
in the shooting
Oh,
phase.
I
with
only
plague
just shimmied with
weapons.
him. And you got a single blade guard over here.
Yeah, cleared out those Blade Guard. We were kind of expecting that. He did get a Black Legion character on the objective now, so he controls that
Consolidate.
with the
So,
what's that stratagem called?
World Killers.
World Killers. I keep wanting to say World Eaters.
So
That
you go
is
ahead and
something
fight with the
entirely
Terminators
different.
now.
Very,
Or
very
Javelin.
different. Difference between a stratagem
doesn't
and a whole
matter.
chapter.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
can do
fight
both.
both.
Yeah, so let's do my 10 attacks into the drone. See what I can do here. 5.
Java Jet, we are glad that you are enjoying hearing the player chat, and hopefully the rest of you are as well.
Alright, re-rolling the 1s.
All right, Slam Chap going into that bloat drone.
1 to 1. Alright.
Rip that drone.
Wounding you on tough
I
7.
mean, it is reducing all damage by 1, but I don't think it's
Down
going
to flat 2 instead of flat 3.
to down to
What's
2.
it, battle round 3?
But yeah, I don't think it's going to
I
be
didn't
enough.
declare, but I typically move into the assault.
Unless he spikes this 5-up invuln right here.
You're fine. I have a 5 of invul. Very fine.
So it doesn't matter. It presses you with the 2.
Was your intention to go into the Assault Doctrine?
I always typically go into assault.
So what's the damage on these?
Flat 3.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Ooh, that's just enough.
Means.
He's dead as fuck.
So
Unless you CP reroll a 5 up and have no CP left.
Bloat drones don't have a field of pain anymore?
I would
Oh,
like you to
because
do
you got
that, but I
turned to
think
minus 1
CP rolling
damage,
something
right?
that's largely not in your favor is
to explode, I would like you to die.
Oh, didn't even get the
And they
explosion
explode,
off.
I believe, on a 4-up
Yep, on a
too.
4.
consolidate.
That's really frustrating.
Oh, that's
Man,
rough.
that
right there.
chap with 1 wound left.
To do a wound. You guys are all
And now that chaplain, I believe, has officially traded up in value.
Yeah, no, that did it
Yeah,
right
okay,
there.
So here,
And now he's going to get a hold, because he holds that in his command phase, he's going to be able to move off of that
don't
and
think
go
it matters much here
1v1
because
Nemon.
I think what's going to
Or
end up happening.
the blood drone.
It's my turn.
Actually,
next.
if I were him, I
Why
would
not both?
probably
So, I mean,
probably
right
fight
now,
the
I'm
blood
just
drone
gonna be able to fight
because
with a couple of
Memon
damage
spending.
power fists through you.
Ooh,
I don't
no,
really
Daniel's
care.
out of CP.
I think that
Never mind. I would fight Memon now
you're gonna get
because
3 guys, maybe 4 within range.
any other time, Memon spend 1 CP for a 3d3 flamer or an Overwatch, easily kills the chaplain.
Yeah,
But as far no, Daniel has 1 CP. Never mind.
Wound
Didn't
spice?
use it for a reroll.
53,
So
so
yeah,
one
if he
damage.
charges Memon, you burn the 1 CP to kill the chaplain in
Technically,
Overwatch, and
one
you don't
dies,
lose
but I
that
missed
character.
my mortal
Meanwhile,
wound.
you just move on to that
We will
objective.
go.
But if he fights the bloat drone and then piles into Mammon,
Wasn't base, so that was okay.
maybe he survives. I don't know that one. That's a
I
little
don't
bit
know.
more
He's going to
difficult.
have to maximize that first
Your
strike.
1 will be out.
Like, he doesn't want to...
I don't like it.
He wants to make it count.
Okay.
So,
Or-
He's killing Mammon
so
worth
here's the
that.
tech.
Yeah,
You ready
or
for
he
this?
throws him into those terminators.
Right,
You are within
which
now
might
6
be the
inches
better
of him.
play.
You do not benefit from any auras. So my mortal wounds will go straight through you.
Teams could definitely have to make a choice there.
Should have line unbreakable there. Now I know.
It's better to have a choice than none
So
at
this is
all.
going to be the sergeant
Right.
first. We're going to see if we can kill like most of the unit.
Might be able to.
And I reroll once from the Word of Contagion. Thank God.
The other thing that Steven might do is shuffle up some of those terminators sitting on the back objective
These are all AP1.
and try and ping a few shots off those terminators with his bolters as well as the missiles.
This is a sergeant.
Yeah, this is the sergeant fighting.
Bolters? Storm bolters into Terminator?
Mass fire.
So you're going to have
He's
6
probably,
A's
even
AP1.
getting 1 wound off of them
And then I'm going to put these off to the
means
side.
that
These are all
there's
gonna
2 wounds left on a single terminator, which means
6
cracked
saves at
missiles go
81,
in
so we do
and
have to do these.
could kill one.
Right.
1 goes through.
Also, the terminators can't
2 go
benefit
through.
from anything greater than a 5
be.
up.
Go
I
through.
don't know if that's
And
going to
then
play yet.
4, 8,
Definitely will in the
4,
fight phase, but
8, 2
that
dudes. And here's the last
that
guy.
relic coming from the apothecary on the bike, who is just behind the terminators
So
over
this is
there.
your regular dude. And they just,
Sorry.
you have 6.
Right.
These are the sergeants.
Yep.
This is the sergeant's mortal wounds.
You have 6.
I don't know if Steven remembered that or not, so we'll see. We'll see if it even comes into play.
All my ones. One miss.
What is this?
This is the wound roll.
Me, every time I play an opponent. What is this?
Why are you rolling dice?
What is going on? Stop it.
So let's pull out all the non-wins. You've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 saves.
And if you want?
Yeah.
Okay, so here
That's a lot of dice for
But
him.
only AP1.
So
Yeah, but you'd be surprised how far AP1 goes when you get 16
Yeah,
attacks.
that's true.
do you mind if I put it just on a blade of guy?
Until Steven starts rolling them by threes, and then all of a sudden it
He
goes
is within it.
way
I
farther
don't
than
think
it
he's
should.
You don't get any of it.
Okay, so I owe you another. So let's go. I'm going to do them in 6s. So I did 6. I owe you 10. So here's 6 more. None. And then the last 4.
Yeah, see?
None.
Okay, and then you take 16 mortal wounds.
16 mortal wounds. So divided by 6.
16 mortal wounds.
So 5 dead.
Oh, man.
Sir?
Okay.
So
I'll
what
put the
triggers
2
the mortal
remaining
wounds on there?
him, and I'll take
I believe it was a stratagem that he used to, with the Terminators themselves, to do mortal wounds in addition to their damage.
Okay.
Man.
So that will be the end
I'm
of your
not
turn.
as familiar,
I will
so-
consolidate.
You can't. You're
I
based.
can't tell you the
Oh, yeah,
exact
yeah.
stratagem. I can look it up, but I can't tell the exact one.
So the
off top
huge
of my
deal
head.
there was that he was previously
So,
protected by a
that'll be
5-up,
the end of your
still in the
turn,
pain
right?
versus
At the end of my
mortals,
turn, I will
until
strike roll.
the
Yes, you will.
I will score a direct
Lord,
assault.
sorry,
will.
that character right there, whose name I can't remember,
Lord of Contagion.
Lord of Contagion,
Coherency.
got in
I
there
don't know
and
if it was
shut down
worth it
all
there.
this.
I don't know if I would have died out anyways, but I think it was risky
Yeah.
to get you back in range.
And that stops any feel no
you're
pain
gonna
from
get a
happening,
10.
which
That's
16 mortal wounds, that's
We'll get a 10.
5 Terminators gone for Steven. And
my turn.
And Stubborn Defiance will take the 3.
because he's got the Black Legion model on there, he loses that objective as well.
right?
So he's getting 10. Fortunately, because that chaplain's still alive.
So you have
But-
2 or 1?
I have 2 now.
He's not getting the 15 anymore, which is huge because Steven really needed that 15
Yeah.
on his turn
Things that
to
need
make
go
up
minor.
for the 5 he
That was
got
a really
last
good
time.
turn, so
You did a lot of damage there.
killed 8 Terminators.
Yeah, those beasts, they died faster than most stuff that I've seen. So let's see here.
Although he does still have his plasma scepters, so those could, with Weapons of the Dark
I have
Age
no heroic
and
interventions
overcharging,
except for the characters, because
doing 2 damage into the Terminators actually
Okay, so now
pops
what's
some
gonna
guys
happen
out
here is we're gonna
with
heal, we're gonna bring back 1.
only getting a 5-up
charge in,
invuln. And then have the chaplain come in
we
and finish him
smack
off.
that Lord of Contagion.
But he does have to deal with that Lord of Contagion still.
Yeah. I mean, phew. He's got some options here.
something to drink. Do you want something?
Did you get anything already? I've got $2 of credit. So tell him to put Steve has $2 there. So if you want to get something to grab, if you're gonna get like a soda for $1, grab me whatever. Grab me a.
Look at these guys being nice to each other.
So maybe move Inceptors up here, fire on Terminators. These guys move over, get rezzed and healed by the Apothecary. Then send this cruise missile over here to maybe engage the Terminators, or maybe even try and assassinate Lord of Contagion.
Or maybe you go after his backline objective. Because you're getting direct assault. If you can control that center and the back, that's 5 points for direct assault instead of the 3.
Right.
Okay, so here's what I think we do. Okay.
And it's also stopping him from
But
scoring
he doesn't have
5
the
on his
range.
primary.
I mean, his maximum move is going to be somewhere around this.
Yeah, but then he's also got
Oh,
the
then
charge.
charge into the bikes and what looks like 1 Nurgling base. Not sure what that is.
These guys move this. He zooms up to right here. These guys
Yeah, I
move
can't
this
tell
way.
from here.
Boom. So we're gonna bring some guys back. They're
Might
both
be
on
a
hit
character
minus
from
1
Death Guard.
Sir?
Okay, so I think what's going to happen here is that he's going to get healed. We're going to bring back a Storm Shield Terminator.
Yep.
I think I'm going to fly up here and weapons all of the shrouds. My chaplain kills that dude with a 5-inch charge.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's doing exactly exactly what I predicted there. I think that's his only play because he's got to get rid of those Terminators because that's just an
I think he's got a
ungodly,
pretty
Me to
good.
go all in this
that's
turn.
an
pretty good
ungodly
chance to
number
do
of
so.
mortal wounds.
Lazarus comes up here.
Master Laz.
He's at
And he's
6
got a
inch
good
into-
chance of it too. 5-up invulns. Again,
He's got a 6 inch into
all of a
Abaddon.
sudden it doesn't feel so good anymore.
Banner's going to come up and touch.
Okay.
These guys are going to fly up
But
here.
he's going to have to be cognizant about what Daniel's going to do next turn in throwing Abaddon in there.
Be on top
Yes.
in the cover.
Because you got 3 characters in there, and whatever you don't charge, Daniel's just going to go ahead and heroically
Actually, we'll be on the
remove.
second.
Right.
And
that needs to keep
that's
me within
either an
range
exalted
of
champion re-rolling
Okay.
against characters, I believe, he's
What's the
re-rolling all
range for his
hits,
no auras?
6.
and then
He'll be out.
gives an
They'll be out.
aura, so himself
yeah,
and
the Exalted will
Abaddon, or Abaddon,
Terminators
are
right
re-rolling
now
all
can't
failed
have
wounds.
many auras, but if the
Abaddon, if
banner
he goes
himself
in,
is away from 6 inches,
is getting a
he's at
stupid number of attacks with Drakian, and the
includes
Lord of
your own
Contagion
auras.
is just a beefy boy.
Okay. Oh, and the command phase, I need to do my litanies.
Yes, sir.
Definitely better than it used to
Do
be.
those count? Those
with
count
this
as
book.
a aura as well, right? It says aura.
Yeah,
Just
if,
say auras.
if Steven's sending both the Chaplain and the Terminators
Okay,
back
launcher
into
strength.
close combat,
Three up.
he's
Doesn't
going
get
to,
it.
well,
Can't reroll
This
that
is the
either.
turn that's going to define the game for
You
Steven.
didn't
Yeah.
consult the gaze, Steven.
Okay, and then we'll do litany.
Either Steven mows and clears out basically everything,
Come on, True.
or he's in a world of hurt for the rest of the game.
That's a big deal.
He's got a single one left.
Okay. Okay, so then that should be the end of my movement phase. We'll heal him.
Okay.
He doesn't heal all the way. He heals back to 4 out of 5.
Yeah. And
That's going to be helpful. Getting as many wounds on that chaplain as possible.
Shield and a hammer.
good call. You don't want a power fist?
Huh?
You don't want a power fist?
Nah, bro.
all right, chat, we're at the bottom of turn 3. It's a close game here. Who do you think's going to win this one?
I think it's alright. I think I'm gonna do
We
it.
got one for Daniel and Dice Hammer. We got one for XPZ. I said at the very beginning, I think Steven pulls us out with a 5 to 10 point win margin. And I'm still sticking to that. I think he can still pull this out. If this turn goes off the way that he wants it to, he squeaks out a win here. But if this turn fails and Daniel rolls hot on his saves, I don't know that Steven's in a good position to recover again.
Okay. Cool. So I think I kill the shrouds and I kill all those characters. Is what I think I do here. What is Ezekiel gonna do? How killy is he in melee?
He's a Lord of Contagion, so he has 6 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 7, AP 3, 3 damage, plague weapon. So he'll insta-kill Terminators if you fail him. So he's not to be underestimated.
Okay.
What you thinking about, bro?
Okay, we're gonna cast. I think now we're gonna cast. I don't think you have any OBSEC over here that matters really, so I don't think that that's really gonna matter too much. Nothing with OBSEC is gonna be able to get
Ooh,
it.
maybe he smites in here.
So I think we're not gonna cast Engulfing Fear. So we'll cast Mind Word. I need a 5. We get it.
That's a good one.
It's actually a 12, so can't deny it.
Yeah, that's going to be -1 to hit on something.
Let's hit a mortal wound
And
and
a
fight
wound.
last onto Abaddon.
Okay, so he's going to be down
Ooh.
6.
Mortal Wind
Let's
and
do
Fight
Aversion.
Last. Interesting.
I need a 5 on the dice.
So if
Get it?
Abaddon piles in
7. I'm gonna try
or
and deny.
heroically intervenes, he's fighting last.
Don't.
Well, in this case, he'd
Let's
be
give
fighting
aversion
last
to your Lord
anyways.
of Contagion.
Yes.
-1 to hit, and if he's within 6 inches of Ezekiel.
I do
But
believe
if-
Fight Last would prevent
Okay,
counterattack.
we're done
though.
casting. Let's shoot.
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna
does
burn my 2
impose
CP
a-
here for weapons.
If there's no Abaddon attacking this turn, then when he charges next turn,
He's still fighting last.
he's still fighting last.
We're gonna shoot everything into the shrouds.
Okay.
So starting.
There we go.
Volume
Actually, I think if
first.
you've got Fight First from the chart
Okay,
and
4 on
Fight
the
Last,
first
you
guy.
then just fight at regular speed.
Reroll the 1.
Yes, because it always fights first and always fights last. It counts as ongoing, actually.
Next guy.
But even in that case, Steven would get to fight first into him.
Yeah, because it would be his
Yes.
priority on that one.
One. That was a hit, right? Yep. Two misses. Boom. All right. Number three. Number three.
5 shots. 3s.
The last one.
Consistent.
4s and above there.
Yeah, so answering chat, turning threes and the Dark Angels are trailing a bit. Daniel really made use of good strategic use of, I was going to say World Eaters again.
World Killers.
World Killers.
World Killer,
World Killer
strategy.
strat to deny primary points to Steven.
You're looking for 5-ups here.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with the weird Black Legion stratagems, World Killers is a 3 CP stratagem that says if any Black Legion is touching an objective, it belongs to them, basically. Does not matter how many bodies you have on there or if your opponent has OBSEC on it, it belongs to you.
Didn't matter.
So 2 turns of that from Daniel, because it is at the beginning of the battle round, played a huge role in this game so far.
Okay. Let's go.
He is running out of Black Legion units, though. I think he's got Abaddon, the one character, and I think that's it.
Yeah, I believe that is it.
And then all bolters that can. Everything from this unit is going to go there. Okay, so first we're doing missiles.
Then we give me a laser. So while you roll the missiles, go ahead. I just want to see
Just tell me how many bolters.
all of them.
Okay. So the missiles hitting on 2s, hits them all. Doing it on 3s. Wounds. 3.
Oh no, he's got
So
the
now it's
Vipers
two
left.
On your 4 bindle, anyways, 2 fail. So
But
first
those are in the top
yeah,
right hand corner on objective 1. Or sorry, on objective
is it 2?
5.
So the first one, roll 3, so you kill one with both.
But they're not
Okay,
really
so-
playing a
okay,
role at
got
this
what I
point.
mean.
It's
Yeah.
really up to
And then the bolters,
Abaddon and the
1,
Exalted
is all of
Champion.
them? Yeah. 2.
2.
Dudes.
Do I need to measure range here? I probably do.
He's equipped with the Power Sword.
It was all at
So that
once.
is strength 5, AP3, damage
I just want to make
1.
sure that my range was right before I'm
Rerolling
rolling
all
dice.
failed
Oh,
wounds.
confirm the range. 3,
Not too bad.
4.
No, it's definitely bringing him to his 4 pinballs with Storm Shields.
It's not Abaddon good, but it's not too
Shrouds
bad.
dumped some Deathwing Vanguard. That was gnarly. Okay. There's a solid doctrine, so these are just 2 upstairs. We're rolling for no reason here.
5s.
You got 3. You can just roll those.
It's like 2
Gets
Terminators
one.
left.
Ah! No bueno.
Okay, we're going to do Blade Guard Sergeant's pistol. At the same unit hits.
There's a living blade guard?
Blade Guard Ancient. No,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
My bad. Missed. Well, it hit but didn't wound. The next one is just going to be here. We're going to go this way. Missed. No wound. Ezekiel's pistol hits. I think it's a
You know,
4.
things are getting desperate when it comes down to the
Now, hang on.
pistols.
That's a special one. You take it.
Everyone always forgets about them until at the very
Until
end.
they
when it's,
matter.
I gotta throw something downfield to get as many wounds as possible off.
Pieces here. I'll bring you some.
Hang on. So 2 damage. Down to 1.
Down to 1. There's a wound left.
Okay.
4 wounds of Terminators left.
Not too bad.
And I've got no other pistols, so fired.
Considering
fired,
there were 5 there before,
all
that's
3
pretty good.
fired.
Yeah.
They have no pistols. Okay, so what we're going to do here.
I think you should
He's
put
still
that
got
chap
those-
into the.
Yeah, but he's still got those Terminators in the back there he can fire. I wonder if he's gonna remember that.
Kill all of them.
In the bag, no, he shot him already.
Hammers are going to have a hard time killing the Lord of Contagion.
Then
But that doesn't really matter.
He fired the crack missiles and bolters.
Oh,
in
that's
the air.
right. That's what
C
it
minus
was.
1 damage.
Yes. All the Death Guard stuff is.
So it's a 5-inch into
Yeah, that he's doing exactly what I thought. Charge in here, and then
This is iffy.
maybe multi-charge these guys.
Terminators charge Abaddon and here.
Okay.
Oh, charging Abaddon?
You have
Okay.
no CP.
He's got 5
I have 1
lives.
CP.
Not that it necessarily matters in this instance, but
4 gets
he
it,
does.
for sure.
4. Okay.
So we want to just go here, here, and here. Okay. Lazarus goes there.
Cannot be within an inch of this guy, so I just want to shimmy him
Oh,
over a
okay,
little
that's
bit.
fine. Yeah. Lazarus goes there. He needs a 4.
Lazarus 1v1ing
Wish I had
that
rolled 7. I would have been able to interrupt here.
that
It would have actually made a big difference.
big bad
Okay.
Death Guard character.
The chaplain is going to go into both of these units.
Okay.
He's in on a 9.
Just gonna stand right
If only he had freebooters. If any one of these players had freebooters, at this point this game would have been over
Yeah.
like an hour ago.
Ezekiel is going to shoot for that 7. You could bap him, maybe not. Let's go that way for a 7.
We had 2 freebooters armies. We could have a Warmaster game in 30 minutes, probably.
And then he doesn't need to charge anybody.
If we had any freebooters armies, we'd have a Warmaster game in 20 minutes. The only time would be just setting up and then one turn of rolling
He's
dice.
fighting last, so that doesn't really matter too much.
It would be it'd be about 45
okay.
minutes
Let's start out.
if the freebooters had to go second.
Let's start out with Lazarus into this dude.
Okay.
He's throwing 6 attacks. Okay, I guess I don't get auras.
Correct.
Homeless Pope, which we all know is Logan. Your emojis
1,
confuse me,
8,
sir.
4.
3 damage, right?
No, 2 damage, so he takes 1.
So he's down to 5.
Right? Okay. Next thing we're going to do here is, I don't know if I even should be putting a lot of stuff here. Right here, we're going to go 2 hammers, and he's not minus damage, right? He's half damage. So
2 damage each.
2 damage a whack.
I'm T5, so winning on 3s.
Yep, Abaddon, half damage, which is going to come in pretty clutch here for Daniel. Reducing that 3 damage down to 2, but also any Power Fist going in there, we're going down to 1 damage.
2 hammers into him.
The other
with
thing, though, is
sergeant,
that
and 1
Exalted
into that
Champion
guy.
does not have
So
an
1
invul.
going into that guy.
Oh, really?
It's a 3-up save, and he's in Assault Doctrine, so any Power Fists that go in there,
Yeah, that's...
or Thunderhammers, are just
2
2 wounds go through and
These are
he's dead.
83,
So,
so
big question is, can he take out Abaddon now?
okay.
Because if he doesn't, there's a world of hurt coming back.
No, he's out.
What is the Exalted Champion? So no rerolls to wound, which is very helpful for if this doesn't go through.
Good.
2 of them.
Good and good.
Okay.
Ooh,
Boom.
Abaddon
So those
lives.
guys will pile in and consolidate this way.
That 4th invuln,
Okay, so he's fought. He's fought.
passing both.
I've got Chaplain.
But he's no longer rerolling wounds, and he's wounding on
I
4.
think at this rate I have to
So
kill
there
the
is that.
Shrouds.
Still,
The
though,
Arch Contaminators, whatever.
you think he's going to be able to wipe those 3
I don't think
Terminators?
my Chaplain can kill him. I have 9 attacks, but they're 2 damage that go to 1.
I don't know. It depends on
They
how
are
many
AP3.
attacks he gets with Drakian.
What's his invulnerable? 4?
4's across the board.
So I need to get 5 damage through?
Into the Lord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also need to get 5 damage through into the Shrouds, but it's much
This
Four
is the
damage.
final stand of the Dark Angels.
We're going to
The
start with
last
Ezekiel
watch.
into the Shrouds.
Okay.
He throws 4 attacks to hit on 2s.
No rerolls.
And his strength is 6, so he wins on 3s. Okay, 2 of them. Let me see. You're just on your invulnerable. I know it's AP.
Good. Good.
Okay. Yeah, so I think what we got to do here is I got to take the Chaplain into the Shrouds.
Okay.
Chaplain
you're
into the
just
Shroud.
Shrouds,
which
okay.
actually doesn't
I don't have Mantra. I have reroll.
Litany of Fate, which you don't get.
2,
So.
4, 6, 8, 9.
Yeah, no auras
Hitting on
here.
2s. Wounding on
3s.
so strength 7. Yep, 3. Okay. So you've got that many.
5.
5 of them.
5 ups.
That's probably a good move. I mean,
We drop a dude.
So 1 is Sergeant.
limiting auras is a big deal, but that Shroud Sergeant just does so much damage.
So my turn.
But the Shroud Sergeant's still alive on 2 wounds.
Ugh.
He's gonna.
You'd have to.
Because he dropped 1 and he brought the other guy down to 1 wound, I believe.
Okay. And then
Or unless he didn't get the +1 damage off, in which case he's alive on 2 wounds.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay.
I think it's on to you.
Alright, so
Oh,
Punch
man.
comes back.
Yep.
base me
This
here.
is gonna be big right here.
We'll just go with Abaddon then. We'll power up. Okay. 3, 4, 5,
extra
6,
attacks.
7, 8, 9.
Yep, 9 attacks hitting
reroll.
on 2s, rerolling
You don't get to
everything.
Why not?
But wounded on 4s.
You're Horus.
This will either be a heavy spike
don't bet.
in favor
Oh,
or
okay.
just
4 extra attacks.
2 or 3.
Cool. Looking for 4s. He's running to do really well. That was actually pretty damn good.
What is this? Abaddon? Into
Abaddon.
the Terminators?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, 8 wounds on the
So,
Terminators.
83. So they'll be on your invulnerable.
Add
no matter
invuln.
And I am still -1 damage on it. That's
Yeah.
not wrong.
So you can roll them all at
The
once.
-1 damage is helping.
Yeah. Is it going to help enough?
Alrighty then. So 1 dice.
Only
Well,
took out 1.
apparently,
Jeez.
jeez.
Yep.
Steven spiking his rolls
a good
in
roll.
return.
Yeah.
Oh man, we still have a game on our hands, folks.
You?
That could have been a huge swing in Daniel's favor, but the Terminators stand strong. That transhuman paying off.
Yeah, really.
Oh man. Or rather, I should say the inner circle.
And that will be turn. So the Shrouds will not fail their leadership because they're within 12 of Abaddon.
But we're not done yet. We still got a couple more combats to go.
Oaths. So for 3.
Ooh, if that sergeant comes in.
Leadership, speak of your goal.
But so Abaddon. Oh, we're playing the weird interpretation, not the fact that not OBSEC play.
Yeah, because that was the thing I mentioned in the interview is that the WTC ruling has ruled that if you are within 3.
Okay, so I get oaths for I killed a character.
Oh, so it's 4 for oaths. You'll be at 12.
Yeah, I get 4 for oaths.
So we're ending the turn
hit,
scoring.
right?
Correct.
And we'll tick to you, and you're gonna get
15.
No, because you don't control this. It's your new battle
You
round.
are correct, so I would just get 10.
You're gonna get 10. Yep.
10.
Yeah, those Terminators living actually allows Steven to control the center,
Now
get
there's no way
3 for
you
direct
to-
assault, and stop Daniel from scoring 15 on primary.
Yeah, he definitely needed that.
Please give me a command point.
Big moves that last turn.
No.
That's bad.
Wow, yeah.
I had 2.
He's been dropping the Tallyman rolls
I
quite a
had
bit
1 last
this
turn.
evening.
I didn't spend it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's a 7-up now. It used to be only on a 7, but now I believe it's a 7 or higher. The fact that he hasn't gotten it for the last 3 turns,
that dude is
that's
brutal.
oof.
Yeah. That was my tech. I realized that a while ago. So I will get 2 banners.
Now the interesting thing is here,
It's going to be rough.
Steven's out of CP. Daniel's about to go up to 2. So there's no world killers.
You're 5 total for banners.
But the way that
Yeah, he's
that combat range is done now,
So
all it would take
the banner is a 6
with
inch offset,
Daniel
right?
taking that one Terminator, moving around the bike and into the plasma scepters to shut
Probably
down
won't be
that
able to
shooting
fall back
next
and come
turn.
through this area.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna
Because
spend
plasma scepters have to run away from that fight. There's no way they live.
one. I can't-
Well, they're not
I can't
gonna
spend
survive
CP
the combat
because I
phase
need to
anyways
try
if
and
that's a
world kill
sergeant.
next turn.
True.
The problem is if I world kill next turn.
But if he charges both them and the apothecary and then removes the apothecary,
yeah.
Tallyman has really been failing me here, which is really sucks.
oh, it's the Tallyman up there. That's why.
There.
That's that character up
Abaddon's
in the
fighting
top right.
last. Right? He fights last. Okay.
Yes. How many wounds left?
6.
Okay.
The shot is dead.
Yeah, we did turn up the mic, so you may hear some conversations and some background feed in from the other games that are going on.
But I think I can maybe relegate.
Speaking to the homeless pope in the chat.
Banners at 6.
Yep, every Thursday we do have our Thursday night fights here at OBG in Escondido.
There should have been no.
We've got the XBZ crew down here
Okay.
skirmishing each other, and then some players from several other teams.
Yeah, he should be.
So stop on by
The way I
Thursday
measured
nights,
it,
starting
you
at
can
6.
rewatch it.
Do you want to?
And you never know, you may end up like me and eventually get sucked into the XBZ team.
So what are you trying to say here? Because you
now
bumped me
recently
back.
joining
So the way
myself.
I measured it when I measured.
And then
you should
also,
have been 6.
If you do join us on Thursday nights, we have just started a league
So he
coming up
is
as well.
That's right, the brand new league is starting next week. Sign-ups end on Monday, so
Is there a way
please
for
get
me to
in
be
there
on
and
this?
sign
That's
up.
what I was aiming for. I thought it looked that way. If not, then
We've got the
Would that have changed your?
it doesn't matter. that
URL
much.
on
It
the
is
screen
what
right
it is. I
now,
mean, I just gotta see if
tinyurl.com
that guy dies.
/OBG League. You can also go to BCP and sign up that way. We are doing locked lists and pods this time.
Yeah, taking a page out of the Addies League that's been going on, so which some people may be familiar with. But we are doing a lot of things different, so we're looking forward to a lot of different changes, locked lists as opposed to kind of tailoring, which I think is definitely going to be healthier. We're going to see people kind of really develop competitive skills that way.
The URL of OPSEC doesn't even
But I am
matter.
looking forward to seeing who I get to fight in my pod and bring the Thousand Suns now that I'm not playing with the hand tied behind my back with the CSM anymore.
Yeah,
So-
I'm really glad to see Thousand Suns kind of getting their own new stuff here. I know a lot of people have been fans of them for a long time.
Oh, I
And,
won't stop.
and I mean, you've played with them now with the new codex. What do you think? Are they doing a lot better?
Gosh, they've got. They went from an F tier army all the way up to a B tier at the very least.
Potentially just
You know what? I'll
got,
take it.
They've got so many tricks up their sleeve and so many shenanigans that you can pull. It's crazy. But that being said, it's a very complex army to play, kind of like AdMech in that way. So it's going to take time for people to figure out what the really janky shenanigans are with Thousand
he
Suns.
would go first. He's in combat.
Some things are starting to emerge, but
He pulled the guy that was here.
it's going to be a couple
No,
months before we
you're
really
com-
see Thousand Suns
from where you were at.
come
I
out with the
didn't-
power
I didn't
list.
move.
That'll
Right.
bring him
Watch
into
what
to the
stayed.
A
Yeah,
tier.
so there was one dude in combat, and you pulled him out. So he was no longer. That's why I consolidated on the point.
You're saying it right now. I'm not within an inch of you.
Because it was just this one dude.
Okay. Okay. My point of not consolidating was not to keep one guy in combat. It was to move up and be like that. So I mean, if
so
you were
it's-
positioned that way, plus keep in mind, I mean, dude got moved.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so let's just assume that that's true, because that was your intention. Okay, so this is
A lot of good conversation on board right now,
there,
which is exactly why we
obviously.
keep the mic on.
Abaddon is going to chill. Hopefully we can just run over and kill those dudes.
Was it to hear the player conversation, or were you just waiting for me to leave the Warmaster Challenge so you wouldn't have to hear me?
No comment.
Oh, man. Now you're just waiting to get me on back here,
That's right.
which, for those of you who don't know, my name is Steven. I'm not the Steven that is currently playing. We are two different people. He's been playing for a
So
lot
they
longer than
say.
I am.
Yeah, I took my dice.
Than I have, but
The rules say that at least one Steven must be commentating at all times. And
Yes.
since Steven's playing today, we have to have Steven in here.
happy to be here, and maybe after this we'll see if I can come back and jump back on, or Steven will continue the domination.
We'll see. This is going to be a close game.
Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, we'll see a dual Steven commentary. Wouldn't that be something?
Big brain plays being planned out right now.
Daniel does have to be careful, because even though he does have the lead right now, it could easily be taken over by Steven.
Really sad if they did. Is the apothecary in a circle as well?
Yes, but he's on a bike. He's in a circle, but it doesn't matter.
Got it.
I'm rusty this game too. I've been making some completely. I haven't been like playing a clean game.
Yeah. So we're just trying to be good about everything.
So our current Warmaster in chat wants to talk about freebooters. Should we talk about freebooters? No.
To be fair, he won't shut up about him, so I think he's doing all the talking that needs to be done about freebooters.
Speaking of freebooters, I do have a bunch of squig buggies in stock right now, just in case anyone happens to be looking for those.
Yeah, a whole bunch of freebooter or orc stuff. To be clear, they don't have to be freebooters.
Through to kill him.
Although Logan might have a heart attack if he sees something other
No,
than
I
that.
think they have to be freebooters. Are there any other orc clans? I don't think so. That's probably the only one.
So they all
Hey,
both have
don't
4.
discount the lucky blue gits. The deaf skulls.
Everybody in that
No,
objective.
but definitely
minus
big
the
orc shit
banner
just
has
coming in. So
And disappearing fast. Except for planes, I cannot get those in.
Labs is how many ones?
6.
6. I don't know what to do here, man. Okay, so there. Labs, Ezekiel has how many ones?
6.
6. Apothecary has 5, right?
Check. Apothecary is on a bike, so he has 6.
He should have 5. He has 4 bits.
Let's check. So Raven Apothecary has 5. Let's see what Ezekiel has.
I mean, chat. We talk about the freebooters a lot.
No, he has
But
5. You're right.
are they anything
So
compared
5
to the
there.
12.5 Gabriel Seth
Everybody
list
has
that we're gonna see?
Lazarus is the guy with 6. Okay.
How do you model half a Gabriel Seth?
I don't know why we even did
Just like the top half or the bottom half?
Very carefully. you build the whole model and you take a hacksaw, you see,
Cut it straight down the middle?
and just go straight down the middle. although he did come up with a list that I haven't, that was very similar to what I actually ran at LVO in 2019, which was the height of the Space Marine era, and I had come up with something super janky and weird. So I ran a list for CSM. There's 2 Supreme Command detachments and a Demons Battalion. And the whole idea was it was old character screening rules where if there was anything other than a character with wounds 8 or less or whatever it was in front, you couldn't shoot the character behind. So I threw Nurgling. There were Nurglings in the Demons Battalion. Everything else was a character under 8 wounds, and it was a bunch of different characters. One was a Night Lord Supreme Command, the other one was mixed Heretic Astartes. And I just would go,
Nice.
all right,
Okay.
Nurglings in the center.
That's the play.
They were in an enclosed room, which
We're
you
gonna
couldn't
consult
shoot them.
games.
Magic box.
Magic box, if for those of you who remember that terrible thing.
Can't even roll 5 on the second test.
Sorry, I just
Ah,
said character.
this is going bad.
I'd throw them up in the magic box in the center and
So
go,
we'll go
all
ahead
right,
and go
have
straight
fun.
into
You can't
shooting.
shoot me turn 1.
Can't shoot me in combat.
And against Space Marine, the one Space Marine player, he just went, oh. He had a stud gun, but that was it. He had to charge into Nurgling's turn 1
He
with
advanced, so he can't turn in. So
the
the Shroud will
Dressers,
just.
which was
So
amazing.
Mammon will
So you
go
broke
ahead
the
and
game,
dump
is what you're
everything into the apothecary.
Yes. I did terrible at the event, but I had fun running the most jank crap ever.
T5.
T5.
So 4s.
Oh, it's hot.
These are 3 damage, and these are 2, and they're all AP2.
Okay.
Oh, I take the 3 out.
Oh, the Rhino is a Seth
there's
Centaur. I thought you said the Rhino was a
did.
Seth character. Oh man, I need to learn how to read. We don't talk about TTS
the
here.
Shroud
Tabletop
will,
Simulator is cursed.
Just
It's
flame
terrible.
Ezekiel.
We play games.
Yeah,
We
flame
play games
Ezekiel,
in
D6.
person like real men.
D3,
And for those of you watching this later, we are responding to chat. So if you're missing out, sign into Twitch, OBG streams, and participate in our chat. It's a good time.
I believe
I love interacting with chat when we get the chance.
Okay, so he's down to 5, down to 4. Down to 4. That's what I said.
Yeah, so that apothecary is off the table.
I know, right?
No more resing,
Like Kill Team.
no more healing from that. The character being there and shutting down the feel no pain. It's kind
We're
of,
gonna try and see
yeah.
if we can blast.
The big thing I think actually for Daniel defensively is
They're on the top.
that was also the character that the
Still on
apothecary was
three
giving
ranges.
everyone within 6.
It might be with
Reduce
the
all
physical.
invulns to 5-up.
So if you're here,
Or it couldn't do better than a
ranges, so
5-up
the
at best.
horizontal, the-
So now
not
with
based on this.
Terminators
It's not
going
based-
back up
so
to
it
a
would just
4-up
be the head
are
of
going to
my
be just
model within
that
3
much
inches.
harder to remove.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, so that Shroud Captain, or Sergeant,
I
sorry,
would argue that. I would call it.
looks like he's
but
charging into
here's the
those
thing, though, I don't think
Inceptors
it
just
matters
like
'cause I
we
think
were
I'm the closest.
talking about earlier.
Those Furies make an interesting move down
Oh,
there at
no,
the
my
bottom of
chaplain's
the
closer?
screen.
Yeah.
Not sure what
I mean,
Daniel's
let's get
planning
it.
on
I
doing
think
with
that's
them,
a
whether he's
deal.
going to try and
I think
go
within
run
3
over
inches,
to
if you're
objective
talking
3 and
physicality,
try
Well,
and...
his base. So where the models are actually.
I don't
like
know. Maybe they'll go try and
Okay,
soak
I
up
think
some
it's too
Overwatch.
hazy
but
to
kind of
argue it.
Overwatch.
Let's just roll with it in your favor. I
Okay.
think. I don't think it. I mean, yeah.
So hitting on 3s. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
I love it. Get out of here.
Okay, so those all hit. Conversion. I need that to wound. Rerolling once because he's in a circle. This is bad. That's out. Oh,
It's in. So that's a miss, and that was a miss. So it's just one.
just one. I don't know which one it was. Takes 2 damage.
2 damage.
All right. Well. I guess we're gonna start doing some charges. The Furies will charge the.
And responding to chat, yeah, he does have virulent fever.
They'll be good.
And yes, he does wreck people.
Okay.
It definitely makes people feel bad about
Humans
themselves.
Yeah, there's what the Furies were doing. They're charging the Inceptors.
Tagging them up so that Terminator can go in and
just gotta roll
help
around
clean
back.
up the
Yeah. I'm
center.
gonna roll around.
Because those
Makes sense.
Furies,
Shroud
if
will
they
as well.
live, which they probably will,
Maybe. What's their defensive stats?
they got a 5-up armor save, but I want to say they got
Are they tough 3?
they are tough 3.
If they only have 1 wound, then I don't know. The Inceptors are going to get 3 attacks each.
Ability. He's gonna be.
Yeah, but if... Oh, there we go.
Where's he at?
He's right there on the first floor.
Terminator should be
Okay.
coming in.
Could he
Yes,
actually fit there?
F in chat
That's
for
the
those
question, 'cause that's a pillar.
poor Inceptors, which
Okay,
are
I
about
was
to
just assuming
get
that's how we were playing.
nuked.
Cause we
Oh,
had-
because I'm like that, and we're all like that.
we had
Okay, yeah,
played
cool,
out.
cool. That's
Yeah, Fury is a toughness
so
3,
he's
6
there.
up save, 5 up and 1.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be within 6 to get
1
his
wound each for
auras.
2 attacks, hitting on 4. They're a really great action monkey for
and
demons.
vertical distance counts.
No, he's on the first floor because they're on the second.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he's going to be just below you,
Gotcha.
and then he's going to be within 6. So, and then the last one is going to be Mammon. He's going to charge Ezekiel. Good as well. Sure.
He's probably good. It's like 6 inches, 7.
And within 7. That's an 8. Cool. So we need to move a bunch of these wound counters. He's going to go there. Cool. I guess he would just charge the chaplain as well because I can't really.
Everybody making their charges today.
Let's charge
Okay,
the clock.
so beginning
Sure
of fight
is.
phase. Who's gonna go first?
There's no interrupting, so just go ahead.
Yeah, I just need to figure that out per se.
So it's got to be your chargers, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna be Mammon. It's gonna be the Shrouds and then the Furries. We're gonna go with
Terminator.
Mammon first and do his.
Unless that
do,
Terminator champion
Ezekiel,
absolutely
yeah.
whiffs,
So
which
we look at
there's
his
no reason he should.
This is really a.
The
This
Receptors
is a
could
very interesting
theoretically
game.
fight back into him, and they do have
5
AT1.
attacks, hitting on
If they get enough
2s.
attacks into him, could
Cool.
force the him to lose those 2 wounds.
Are they?
Okay, so that
They are
rolls
in-
The Terminator
1/6, that's 4 damage.
Is to 5 or
Elements
4?
are 3 on your end.
6.
Or Shroud,
Failed.
sorry.
He's just dead.
I believe he's T5.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, they're
So
all strength
you're
4.
winning on 5s, but all you need is 2 to go through. A bad roll. That's all it takes.
You'd have to be a real bad roll.
The Shroud, he'll go, so he'll get all the buffs. 3,
Never say never.
and so he will also be within 6 of the Lord of Contagion. 4, 8, 10. 2s. Cool. 9 hits. This will be strength 6, so 3s, so 4, 3s. We'll just take those, and I'll reroll. So you've got
8 mortal wounds and
8 AP1s.
Man,
So gross.
it's just dumping out those mortal wounds.
so
That's 11 damage total.
and there's 12 wounds there. So the sergeant remains.
You only roll 4 saves. You got these are in addition to the damage.
So I owe you 4 more saves?
Yes, you do. 4 more saves and AP1, so they're dead. Okay.
Yep, wipes them.
That hurts.
And that was kind of the last
We will,
big fist
5
that Steven had.
Okay.
Unless he wants to risk moving those Terminators, but he's got to have them on his back line objective.
And then the furries.
Yeah, he can't move them
I guess activate. I
because he needs to
guess.
get his
Stubborn
15
Defiance.
from Stubborn Defiance. Yeah,
Now, he could start daisy chaining him out.
he can. There's risk involved there because if he starts taking casualties, you got to pull him from somewhere.
This way. There's a dude. Is there a missing dude? Yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna be our pile-in move. And then we're just gonna
But
consolidate.
at this point, Steven does not have very many options left.
No, he doesn't.
Daniel's starting to pull away with this game.
So then you get to do the first activation. This doesn't matter. So it's gonna be either
So he's got
Oz or the chaplain.
terms there. Character
I
here.
think
That's
we
that. Chaps.
throw.
Abaddon
The chaplain
is
has
still
higher
fighting
volume.
last.
I think we do that.
And that's it. Does he have anything else on the board? I don't see anything. Oh,
We're
one
gonna throw
character
everybody
here.
at the- do the
Yeah,
same
so he's got, I believe it's Ezekiel. He's got the Chaplain, 2 Terminators,
9,
Banner Boy, and the 10
I was
Terminators.
charged by Mammon.
No. Oh, well, the
Yeah.
chaplain. Yes.
The Chaplain's just smashed in between 2 Death Guard characters, so it's hard to see, especially with
Yeah.
the grassy base.
Camouflage.
These are all 2 damage, right?
Yep.
So I can die if I fail them all.
You
Which I
die.
fail 1.
So you take 2.
Down to 1, so it goes down to 4.
What do you mean? No, they're 3 damage, so he takes 2.
Oh, I asked you if they were 2 damage. Oh, I see what you. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's down to 3. 3.
Okay, now you get a fight. Remember, he is -1 to hit, -1 attack.
I was expecting a little higher damage output from that chap.
Yeah, I don't think he got both of his buffs
stupid
off.
amount of
And then even if he
Well, none of
did,
the auras worked.
the auras don't,
Yeah.
the auras are gone.
This is
Big
I don't
deal
think
for
it's-
him.
I don't think it's
So
close.
that's
No?
why he's going after him and not
We'll see.
Memon.
Okay, so I am -1 attack and -1 to hit, right?
Yes, from aversion.
Okay. So Lord of Contagion, I think he has 6 attacks.
Which goes to 7. He didn't charge, so he has no bonuses or anything.
I don't get hateful assault. I'm not very hateful. The thing is, I don't know if I need to. I I don't know if I need to do World Killers one more time. I don't think I need to do it. If Abaddon dies, like, you're going to get the center anyway, so that's really going to stink. Okay, so Plague Reaper, Strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage. He has 5 attacks, so he's down to 4. And then he is hitting weapon skill 2+, so he's hitting on 3s now. And does that modify my weapon skill? Is that how that works?
-1 to hit.
So I'm already -1 to hit. So I'm already hitting on 3s.
Sure.
Okay. So there's no reason to do anything else. So we will just go ahead and go into Laz because.
Last fights when he dies, anyways.
Okay. I don't think it's worth a reroll here. I think waiting for the wound roll. How many wounds do you have left? Full.
He has all of them.
So 6.
4 ups.
I think I'll spend my CP. No. So I'm down to 0. I'm down to 1. Sorry.
Daniel trying to ensure
So I can't die
that
here.
he kills Lazarus.
Right?
No, you can only just take 3 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Saves.
not gonna happen this turn.
Takes 1.
So 3 damage.
They're all
Lazarus
3
lives.
damage.
It's a big scythe.
It's almost biblical.
Yeah.
Okay. He fights.
Although for it to be truly biblical, Lazarus would have to return from the dead. So
Master Laz.
Which he does do, just not this turn.
Oh no. 3s to wound. Oh no.
Nice.
So then Terminators will be able to
Well,
fight.
kind of. He stands up and
7
punches and then
attacks,
falls
hitting on
back down.
4s. No auras.
I mean, if Steven
I
had the
don't have
CP,
the
he
book
could
anymore because Lazarus or Ezekiel's dead.
fight upon death.
Hitting on
Laz
2s.
gets that naturally.
2s.
I think.
From.
Why not do both?
The +1 to hit in the command
Fight.
phase.
Can you?
And then the Dark Angel
think
is
so.
That'd be
I don't think you
interesting.
can do
Hitting on
that.
3s then.
2s.
Oh, you're right.
I
You are
don't see any
correct. Okay.
reason why not, though.
Okay. Then
Okay.
3s to wound.
Rerolling.
I don't know why I see.
I'm sure
That was
there's
stupid. I should have said
good
this rather.
reasons or rules saying you
4 of
can't.
them.
There probably
that.
is.
He's dead.
Nothing that
it takes
juicy
4
could
damage.
ever get
Oh yeah,
by
half down
VW.
to 2. Is he
Except
bracket?
for freebooters,
He
apparently.
has less than 10 wounds.
Okay.
So Abaddon, power up. Don't roll a 1. Almost. 6, 9.
And we're about to probably
Twos.
say goodbye to the Terminators.
That's cocked. So 1 extra attack. Rerolling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Abaddon has Death to the False Emperor, which is still the old rule.
4s. You took my
So
rerolls
6
away.
to generate additional attacks.
Wow, he has just been killing it. So it's 8.
Man,
So
look
my
at that.
attacks, now you see yours. Okay, so 2, it doesn't matter, I need to roll them all.
Yeah.
And hopefully I don't roll 700 ones. They're dead.
They're dead.
Oof.
And there
Yeah,
go the
you got 'em.
That's
Terminators.
GG. I don't even think we need to play it out, because there's no way for me to...
Yeah.
You took my native OPSEC, and this guy's not going to die now.
Yeah.
So you're going to relegate me to a 5.
Now we'll get a direct assault. You will get a 5 this turn.
I think
Because this
Steven's
guy,
right,
he
and
can't
that might be
benefit from
game
his
right
own
there.
auras or
Yeah,
anything.
he doesn't have
Still
enough.
bad
He doesn't have any
for once.
heavy hitters left.
Yep. Has Daniel broken the curse?
5. Okay.
I think he has.
And then Ode's at the end of that battle round. I do have a model in the center. I did kill in that battle round the...
I went first, so we're not at the end of the battle round yet.
Okay, you're right. So Stubborn just ticks to 5. That's it.
Yep, you will
I
go up
gain
to
a
1 CP. You will go up to 10 for Stubborn Defiance, and then I'll see if I get a command point. I do, so I will be at 2 now.
Okay, so what do we do here besides lose? I have nothing I can really do besides park on this, or I just join the battle, I guess. See how far away am I from Mammon, or the Furies actually.
I mean, yeah,
12
he
inches, so we
can
go
take
5
those
at the
Terminators
center
up there
charge.
and
You can
engage.
move off of that because for
It's
Stubborn,
a
like,
progressive
daisy chain.
objective for Stubborn Defiance, so he does get
Potentially
points
get
for
some
it.
hammers in and try and get some OPSEC on this point.
So he's
I
up
think
to
that's
10
still going
right
to give me a
now.
15 though, but it only gets you Oath, or I'm sorry,
You
Direct
would have to
Assault.
have at least
back to
one
direct, so
guy
let's
left
look
the
at
last
this
2
here.
turns to
If
bring up to 15.
Odes is going to max, and Stubborn Defiance should max. That's going to be 30. Direct Assault, if I don't kill this master fucking whatever his name is.
How many do you have for right now for Oaths? You should have.
I have 12.
Okay.
But the primary, if I get 45, and right now I'm at a 20.
Yeah, this
so if
game
I
has
get
come down to
15
the
of the
primary.
which I won't,
Steven
if I get
had to
10
be
if
able to
that's
throw
case, I'm at
something on the
30
side
there.
objectives,
That's a
and he really
15 point
hasn't
deficit
had the
I don't
ability
think
to
I'm
do so.
gonna overcome. I think it's just the game. We gotta play it out anyways, but we have to play it out. Yeah, that was just mega bad. And then this dude is wrecking me.
That was. I think that was the effect that made the difference. So here's the second part that I never did. I can spend a CP in the command phase and make it 12 inches.
Are we on turn 3 or are we on turn 4?
I think we're going in the bottom of
What can I do
3.
here? If that guy dies, it's a different game.
Unless they
Does
didn't
we do
increment
still have some
the
stuff
turn
going
counter.
I don't think they did because
on.
I think Steven's turn 3 was the thing I said was going to make all the difference.
Oh, yeah, you're
He
right.
very well could
So I
die.
think we're
You're
going
gonna
in the
fight
bottom of 4
first.
now.
Yeah, so I think we're bottom of 4, guys. Not that anyone asked.
If he dies, I get direct, but I still don't max it. But I don't know if you'll be able to get it.
To be fair, they are very engrossed in their
Well, if he
game.
dies, though, that's a
It
different animal.
is
I don't
coming
know.
down
Let's
to
see.
very precise movements. So I don't
You wanna do
fault them
your
for
litanies
forgetting to
first
press
while you're
one
deciding?
button on
Yeah,
the screen.
I need to get +1 to hit. And -1 damage on a Deathwing.
I'm just
Oh, I
gonna
don't
leave
get
that
orbs.
there, that
Huh?
version there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the version there just because there's models on top.
Is it a Deathwing core or is it? Now shoot you off that it doesn't even matter. I'm not going to be able to get a 15. Killing us the centers actually changed the game. Your dice spiked. Yeah, I think I just do Mantra Strength. Doesn't go off.
Oof.
And the other one just doesn't matter. Anyway, doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
Okay.
not looking
All
good.
my shit's going to roll 1s and 2s.
Is Lazarus a
If I don't
psychic?
kill that guy, I'm just going to lose. So I think I just got to...
Or was
No,
it
Ezekiel.
And Ezekiel's gone.
Yep.
Okay. Because Ezekiel actually might have been better served casting Smite that last turn.
I don't know if it would have made the difference. Maybe.
I mean, that last character's on 3 wounds.
Yeah.
You get a 6 or a 5 on
Okay.
that Smite roll against him.
this
But
guy's
then you
still in
gotta
cover?
pop off the actually getting 3 damage out of it.
32% chance, but not impossible.
Unless I roll the dice, then it's a 0% chance.
I think what I'm going to do here then is just...
For me, D3 weapons are might
There's a,
say
re-
1.
there's a reason
So-
we're commentating and not playing right now.
Alrighty.
Definitely for me.
Hit on 2s. Wounded on 3s. 2. I have a 3-up save because I'm in cover. I fail.
You just die.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Okay. That helps. Blade Guard Pistol into the Furies.
Well, Blade Guard Ancient's doing some damage.
Wounds.
5 invisible. Damage 1. 1 dice.
Okay.
Yeah, Furies,
2 pistols into...
do
Lazarus'
you get
pistol
the,
first into...
whatever trait you give them, so they can do mark of anything.
Wounds.
So if you give them mark of Nurgle, they do get a 5-up field upgrade, which is really great
AP1,
for
Assault
Furies,
Doctrine.
actually. 43 points for a 5-man squad.
Oh yeah, that is
Give them
good.
a 5-up invul and 5-up
Chaplain,
field upgrade.
still get
and
cover in
infantry. Furies are a
Okay.
great choice
No
in
wound?
many Chaos
okay.
players list that wants to bring in some
We're
demons.
done shooting. Let's charge. My Blade Guard Ancient is going to charge Furies.
Okay.
Blade Guard Ancient
He's
finally
dead.
seeing some combat after
Yeah.
Lord knows how long.
Okay.
He should
Not
be able to
just
wipe
Fight
those
there
Furies.
first. I've never
Oh,
fought.
he will for sure be able to.
Chap over there.
Assault heroic
Man,
in
he
the last-
really just needs to kill that Lord of Contagion.
Because the thing is, if he had gotten those mantras off, and then killed a character with Ezekiel, or sorry, Lazarus, then I believe his aura abilities would turn back on,
Right. Yeah.
which means
That's
he could
the big
actually
deal.
kill Mammon, which would make
attacks
huge strides
from
into
him.
what would happen here.
4 attacks from him.
That being said,
Hitting on a 3-up.
Abaddon is big scary man.
Okay.
And Abaddon didn't heroically intervene,
He
so
just punches, so 3s.
he's in there against
At
Chap
AP1.
right now.
2 of them at AP1.
I think he's in there against Ezekiel, but not against.
Oh, you're right.
Chaplain.
Sorry.
1 more dice.
Guys.
But I think a consolidation or a pile-in would get him into that chapter as well.
Yeah. So from what I can see, here's the Chap. Here's Lazarus, and then that is the Blade Guard Ancient.
I guess Abaddon will power up. Power up. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2s. Re-rolling. 1 extra attack. 4s. 6. On your invul.
Okay.
Time to spike. He's got 3 wounds left.
He's
Almost.
okay. He still fights when he dies.
Okay. Who would you like to fight?
We would like to fight.
Lazarus
Abaddon has
making
how many?
one
Three.
last
2 wounds left, and
swing.
the other one is 3.
We're gonna go into Abaddon with everything.
Okay.
Ooh, going into Abaddon.
Oh, interesting.
Strength 6. Okay. 3s.
2.
You can fail 1.
4 Binvol. And then the other one.
Takes
Failing
them
both
both.
4 thin ones.
3 dice.
Wow.
And there goes the
Jeez.
Warmaster himself.
And then fighting your Ombre.
Okay.
This actually
Chaplain?
could.
Oh, that's no, that
that's
doesn't
really
count as an
close right
activation
now.
for you, so you still get to fight.
I don't know
Right.
that Steven wins this one, but
So
he
you fight
definitely
and you
makes
die,
it a
right? That
lot
doesn't count
closer
as
at
an
the
Oh, I
very
did it out of
end.
sequence. I
Turn
should have done
5
it.
would
Yeah.
be
You should have done it
very-
because he fights
He's
with you
making
guys
Daniel
anyway,
fight for
even- no matter what.
Yeah, so you still get to activate the chaplain.
Right, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah, because it doesn't count as
Okay,
a
so
selection.
he's throwing 4 Teeth of Terra. Not charged, so no shock assault.
Okay.
No Mantra strength.
Who's he going into?
Imperium Sword, he's in charge.
Okay.
He's gonna go into. He's trying to take that guy out.
Okay. The Lord of Contagion. Okay.
Okay.
T5.
Right.
So 3s.
Can he do it?
Nope.
Or
Well, maybe, depending on saves.
These are 3 damage, right?
These no Mantra didn't go off, so they just 1 damage. So he's down to 1. Cool.
Oh man, that Lord of Contagion just
So
will
that-
not die.
He'll
No,
go.
will not. And because he didn't get that mantra off,
Spend CPs on anything here,
he doesn't
so he'll
die.
go on 2s.
Right.
if he had gotten the
Something
mantra
on
off,
4s,
that would have been the end of Lord of Contagion. And I think Steve had a chance to pull this back. That being said, at this point, I don't know that he does
Or
anymore.
he's 1.
I don't know if we could pull it back.
He's dead.
He's just down
Daniel's
so
still
many
getting
points.
15-point
Fighting
primaries.
here.
Yeah, well, I think at this point, Daniel might have maxed out.
Maxed out already. Doesn't matter now.
They're
Or at the
Fury
very
Sword.
least, he will by
I
getting
already
like
fought.
5 or 10
Yeah,
more
yeah.
points.
Right.
5s. Nothing.
Okay.
Steven, that turn 2 of
So they owe me a
getting
leadership,
5
sir,
points on
-2.
primary is what did him
They're
in.
good.
Yeah.
Leadership 5. Or 5. Leadership 6.
Great play by Daniel to do that.
Okay.
Leadership 6 minus 2 goes down to.
So I lost 2. Plus 3 is 5. The leadership 6. So,
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
So.
Sideways, am I
you
missing
will
something with the
still be
living
within
plague
6.
aura?
You will
Why does it
get,
get to be
kill
6
this is-
inches?
GG.
I believe. Well, looks like the guys are calling it. We'll get
Okay,
back
sir,
to you
that
on
was-
that. But
That was
Nah,
rough.
that dude
great
wrecked me
game
on my
between
dice
these two
fail.
players.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
Yeah,
We
that
predicted a
Archie
brawl in the
Kessler
middle.
was
We got
pretty
exactly
good.
that. Both players jockeying
I
for
didn't know that
position
he
right
was-
off turn 1, just trying to get in there, get the other guy to commit, and then just punish him for it. I think.
I feel
those
like
Terminators did exactly what they say on the tin, which
Yeah.
The Shroud killed him
Crap
anyway.
out Mortal Wounds.
Yeah, the shrouds are
so
just
I guess we can
bonkers.
It was incredible just to see one Terminator go into 5
You are the new
Inceptors.
Warmaster.
Inceptors, they're tough 5. They've got 3 wounds each, and just like, oh well, here, eat
Just
9 mortal
not
wounds.
even a question of maybe did I kill him, but easily killed all 5
Yeah,
in one swing.
and then, man,
9.
how many mortal wounds did you do against the
In your turn,
Terminators the round before? I think it was 11 or something
you just
crazy.
probably sit.
It was just
There's 16 Mortal Wounds.
absolutely insane.
Jesus Christ. We're gonna have him come back here in a second.
That would be it. So you'd max stubborn, you'd max O's, but you'd only get 6 for direct assault.
Yeah, they're doing the final scoring now.
71 to 94. We can update both of these. Update turn.
Sideways, I know as well for that warlord trait. There is a 1 CP stratagem to increase it by 6 inches for the plague company that he's in. So, at the very least, it would extend it out to 9 inches. But I believe he said it was started at 6, and then he could extend it to 12 for the warlord trait.
Yeah, it looks like Daniel is taking this one. He is the new Warmaster. Now we've got 2 of them.
The curse is broken,
Curse is broken,
and it makes me sad that I wasn't the one to break it.
but you will get another try.
But actually, I believe this means we've got 2 brand new Warmaster challengees or whatever.
That is true. So,
Contestants.
so now that we have a new person with the title of Warmaster, we're going to restart the process. We're going to take all the names that are in the pool, randomly select 2, and we're going to start this thing over. So,
I had a really keen
if you
turn 4 in the center.
are looking to sign up for Warmaster, go ahead and scan that QR code. You can also talk to me on Discord, come into the shop, talk to any of the XPZ players. We can get you hooked up. And on the list for the Warmaster Challenge. Typically, we do new pairings on Mondays, so please do that soon over the weekend. And we'll have the announcement coming up next week. All right, so let's get the players in here so we can discuss everything that's happened. Steve, you want to run over there and grab them?
Is living play? Is that a contagion?
It's a warlord trait.
It's the warlord trait number 3.
Brutal. It is. Yeah. I was thinking about that one day. I was like,
I've done it before.
you guys ready to come in? Yeah, just a moment.
Yeah,
What
I think
a great game.
Man, the thing is, I just didn't know. Now I know. I think I didn't know about that stuff. So I think I went YOLO Buck Nutty to the middle, and I think your tech was.
Yeah, looking forward to the next Warmaster
Yeah, right?
Challenge. I know I'm throwing my name in the hat again. I want some vengeance now that I know that the curse is broken.
Yeah. So, and just to kind of touch on that, when we do get signups for that, we put them in the pool and randomly select from them. If you do play on stream, you do go on a cooldown to 6 weeks, just so we don't have the same, people playing all the time. But you still stay in that pool. So when stuff like this happens, you can pop back up and get another shot at it.
And to be clear, that's not 6 streams. That's
6 weeks,
actual
yeah. So
weeks.
3 streams,
So 3 streams.
right?
Get you some dice.
Otherwise, I'd have another three streams out before I can
Yeah,
jump.
that
back
would
in.
be a long time.
But who knows? Maybe we'll see me versus Anthony one more time.
Hey.
And, he's
Yeah,
gotten a lot
definitely.
better, but we've got our guys coming in right now.
Perfect.
Cast the couch.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Oh man, it is going well. That was a battle. So, Daniel, congratulations, the new
Thank you, sir.
Warmaster.
Yeah, the Plague Bros are 2-0 for Warmaster right now. Pretty excited about
Well, I
that.
don't think he's a Plague Bro anymore. I think he's on the Orc train now.
He is a Plague Bro at heart, and that's what matters here. It's just like Logan. He says he's Vanguard Tactics, but he's really XPZ. And we know that. He knows that. Everyone knows that.
All right.
So, I mean, this was a great battle. What are your impressions of it? How things go? What did you expect? How did it play out versus what you expected?
So, when I saw the mission, I had a general idea of where I wanted to go for this, but I think the first turn, going first, was nice, just being able to get on the objectives. But once we started moving into the game, I got really scared because I saw Terminators up in my face. I was really concerned that my dudes were not going to be able to do anything, and that really just kind of put me on edge. I had a couple of key things that didn't really work out well. I wasn't casting anything with my caster. Chaplains weren't dying. I wasn't rolling very well, and I was like, "Oh man, he's gonna mow right through me." And then what happened is the Shrouds were fighting last, and I said, "Okay, well, I can't just YOLO them into you, right? But I can YOLO you into the corner." And Steven was like, "That's weird. All right, I'm just gonna fight with 1." And then they consolidated in and they killed 8
Yeah,
Terminators, and that was huge. The
that was
6s,
brutal.
and Steven will definitely attest to this. The Warlord trait on my Lord of Contagion, turning off all of his auras within 6, was massive. No feel, no pains, nothing like that.
So we actually had a question
He has,
about that.
he, has
in
a,
chat.
he has a relic that increases it by 3, so it should be
So you
6.
gave him the Fugaris Helm relic?
did,
That's
yes.
why. So to answer that question in the chat, the Warlord trait is a 3-inch aura. The Fugaris Helm relic extends that by 3 inches, which then you can use a CP to increase it again
Make
up
it
to
12.
a 12-inch.
Yeah, so he has a base 6-inch of no auras, and that is excluding psychic auras. So if you have like the Shadow Seer, it doesn't count, right? So that was the big thing. He was within 6 of me, and Lord of Contagion kind of moved over and was like, "All right, cool. Now your Terminators are no longer within 6. Time to die." And that wound roll from those Shrouds was massive. 16 mortal
Incredible,
wounds
yeah.
man.
was rough.
It was dirty. That's what it was.
Yeah, Shrouds, man. So it was that was a really great game. Steven and I, we always have good games. I would like to say, for the most part, we've had a couple of rough ones, but I think lately we've been having a good time. I don't know if you guys could hear us, but we were going back and forth. Hey, what's your intention here? And you're just trying to talk things out. Hey, you're with an engaging range. All right, let's assume he's in engaging range.
Yeah,
No,
we
no
actually
feel bad.
we actually called that out, and just really good sportsmanship between the players here. Advising each other on various things. That was really good.
I think, especially because Steven's one of my best friends, I would say so, and I don't want to do him dirty like that. And so I said, you know what? Let's have a really clean game. I came in with no expectations. Let's have fun. Let's have a good game of Hammer, and I think we did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely would have made the next 6-hour whatever car drive very awkward if it was a dirty game.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, great game to watch. We definitely saw the Valley of the Shadow of Death with the 2 sides coming to clash in the center.
Yeah.
Almost Spartan-like in some ways. But Steven, so your reaction to those placements, we saw a lot of kind of standoffish, and then you made that first initial push, I think, with the Blade Guard. Do you think that was the right call?
Yes, I do. I think everything about my movement was pretty on point. I think the biggest... So, my first targets, as you can tell, was kind of trying. I think it was going to be big to take out the Black Legion stuff because that was going to be what was going to be having OBSEC play. However, I've never encountered that Warlord trait before with the no auras. So with no auras like that before, that was a big defining moment because I was set up. I essentially played my whole game based on moving up to the center and holding the center with my auras really dominating it for me. So not getting those auras was a masterful thing. I mean, Marines without the aura are huge. So that was a big crippling moment. I think there were a couple movements I could have made that could have been a little bit better. However, I think in hindsight, I mean, I don't know. I think I could have done some things a little bit better, maybe to mitigate damage onto the Inceptors. But I think by that point, the game was pretty much... The primary game had already happened enough to where it was going to be tricky for me to come back. It was at a point where getting 1-5 was okay. I was almost certain that wasn't going to happen again. But then it was able to happen again. And then with getting a 15 after that would have been at least decent because my secondary choices should have been all right. But I don't know if you guys saw that last turn of combat where I was essentially being able to get no damage through to that character. Not being able to take that character out of the game essentially made it to where I couldn't fight for the middle anymore. Right. So I lost the middle. And losing the middle and having all my characters in there with no rerolls, any of the things the Space Marines need.
All those force multipliers just being shut down just hurts so much.
Damage mitigation.
Yeah.
I'm not going to win that battle. You got to have the auras in order to win that battle. So I think that was the thing that stopped it. Now, now I know about that warlord trait.
Yeah.
But, so like now, which is good. I mean, getting slapped like this is something that makes it something where now I'm aware of that one. So if you have living plague warlord trait now, you got to watch out for Death Guard stuff. I didn't see much range shooting as well. I kind of think that I might have needed to commit a little bit more to one flank. That way I could have kept getting 10s on primaries. If I was able to do that even without getting direct assaults, I might have been able to mitigate his banners and still take the victory. So I think once I committed my Inceptors back to the middle as well, it lost me my Inceptors because he had a pretty good charge. Charge, all those charges were above 7.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, I think that that was something I should have had a little bit better sight of. I should have probably kept and gone towards that bottom right objective and shot all those Nurglings off of that objective, and then probably kind of taken it down because then he didn't really have much to commit over that direction. So that might have been something I could have done to make the game a little bit better as far as the primary play goes. But I underestimated that Arch Contaminator guy. I underestimated that dude. Or not Arch Contaminator, whatever his name is.
Living Plague, Lord of Contagion.
Lord of Contagion. I underestimated that dude. So that guy is a huge... and the thing is about it is, once again, too, I didn't really pay attention to the mustering phase to that guy because I'm like, I don't care about what your character's going to do. I was like, you're not going to do anything. You're going to run into a brick wall. And what ended up, had I paid a little more attention as well, I probably could have had some nuanced movement to where I could have body blocked him so my auras were still effective. But in that oversight right there, cost me the game. Him having that aura on the objective was done deal. So I think that I should have paid a little more attention to keeping that guy off.
So you had the brick wall, and Lord of Contagion was the Kool-Aid Man.
A little bit. I think it would have been more the Terminators were the Kool-Aid Man in that situation, dealing 16 mortal wounds.
Oh, that was just gross.
Yeah.
That Death Shroud continues to be the MVP of every Death Guard list.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, truthfully, too, though, it's not the Death Shroud. Because if we're honest, we played before at tournaments. We've been at top table, and they do nothing when I have something to do about it. So that Warlord trait was
on
the
top
MVP.
of the Death Shroud.
Because when those Shrouds do that, cool, you got 6 mortal wounds. I stop 30% of those. You kill a guy or two. Not that many. So I think that, like I said, I don't think the Shrouds are a big deal. I think the impact of the Shrouds is huge, but I think the impact of the Shrouds is nothing without that one character. And I think that's the game changer.
So we saw, and I pointed this out, bottom of turn 3, Steven, you came in, and I figured, and this is for either one of you guys can comment on this. So bottom of turn 3, you had your 10-man Terminator break finally get into combat. I looked at that and I went, this is a turn that's going to define the rest of the game. Do you think that was the moment right there when the Terminators came in?
Yeah, there was
Or-
2 things. There was 3 things I was thinking about doing in that specific turn. My Terminators didn't get into the game. He charged me, so with the shrouds and kept the guys out, knowing he was going to pile into me. I had a couple options. One was focus some of the 2 CP I had on the chaplain to keep him alive, knowing he was going to flip that objective, hold on to it, start winning primary back, and then come influence the center. Once again, these decisions are based not knowing about this sort of contagion dude.
Yeah.
The other decision that I had was to accept that I'm probably going to get hit there and hold both those CP for an interrupt on a Black Legion character that was going to hit me and try to world kill my middle objective. Okay, and the last one I had, and this is one I considered, which I prioritized the least. Had I known about that, I probably would have prioritized it the most, was my Line Unbreakable. I had Line Unbreakable. It's 1 CP. It says only models in engagement range can fight. So I assessed the Death Shroud and assessed the Death Shroud's threat, considering my auras. Now, without my auras, it's a whole different animal. So I considered that, and I was going to make them. I could have made them fight in 1 rank, but I didn't think it was going to be a big deal because I had a lot of auras that were going to mitigate damage, allow me to fight anyways if I die, and also mitigate the little wound output from those guys. And I was like, okay, I think I would have lost potentially half of what I lost, and I also would have done a lot more impact on the way out as well. So I decided that the chaplain was a bigger influence because I figured the Terminators were going to survive. And then once we got in there and he fought and said I had no auras, then I instantly knew I made it.
Yeah. Then question for you.
Yes, sir.
So you said it during a pregame that you wanted to try and make a push for his backline objective, and you had I think you had an opportunity to do that with the Rhino, the Black Legion Rhino, that ended up world killing the center objective. Did you just at one point abandon the concept of going after his back one, or did you?
I think, and this is, I have a terrible memory. I'm pretty sure I said I wasn't going to go for it because they're just. With Dark Angels and Stubborn Defiance, it's only good with World Killers you can try and stop that. But
Right.
those 10 Terminators, if I throw something back there to try and turn off that objective, it's going to die. It's such a big investment for something that doesn't really do anything in the game. My decision was to basically control the L, right? Mine, my top one, and then basically either keep him off of this one over here, the one at the bottom right, or try and control as much as I can. I had no interest in going in his deployment zone at all. I wanted to try and fight him for the center and just throw things on it whenever I had the opportunity.
Okay.
And that was really what
Right.
it was. It was a fight for the center, and it turned into Hero Hammer at the end.
Sure. And then the other question, then, in the same regards, is you kept the bikes on your back corner objective. With their movement, why did you keep that, knowing that you would still control the objective?
So my thing was, I saw that they had the big 10 man in the back. If they got within 36, he was just going to nuke them with the missiles. I wanted to keep them back in case I could get 3 CP for turn 5 World Killers and try and turn off the center one last time. I had a feeling it was going to come in handy.
Okay.
It didn't,
Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
if you notice, my tally man missed 2 turns
Yeah.
of it. And then I did the math in my head and said, okay, I'm probably not going to world kill at this point. And I had looked and I had noticed the primary differential was somewhat significant. And I think that I just said, you know what, I'm not going to try and go for it. I'm just going to use the CPs on other things. Rerolling saves, hits, wounds, whatever. I was really saving CPs for rerolling wounds and saves against Abaddon fighting the Terminators, and then just the Lord of Contagion. If I can make a 4-up and he lives, game changing. Yeah, so.
All right.
All right. Well, guys, any closing thoughts here? No?
I'm done.
There's a new name on the board.
Yeah, I fought 3 wonderful opponents. They're all really great players. They've all spanked me in tournaments, and I would say that I earned it, but
You earned it.
yeah, I earned it. But I do have to say, Nick, Junior, and Steven, I won because of them. Because I've played them multiple times at tournaments, and I've learned so much about this game and how to be a better player, and it's really because of them is why I'm Warmaster this time around.
All right. Well, congratulations once again, man.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Steven, for playing. Thanks, Daniel, for playing. And congratulations on your win. Also, thanks, Steve Rainey, for co-commentating today.
Always a pleasure.
And that is all we have for tonight, everyone.